am back, and so is this particular week of Ruthless IP Esports presents PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims Brazil region. I'm going to be Echo Boy, and with me, the most talented, the most beautiful, the most amazing caster,
Beautiful,
my
okay.
co-pilot. Come on, it's a compliment, but yeah, Raider over here.
Thank you for the warm welcome, man. Excited to see what happens today. And excited to see what kind of impact is going to be there for now. And yes, one more update, guys. Alpha 7 with the original roster is going to be back in the lobby. So definitely looking
Oh,
forward to see what happens today. Apart from their aggression, I believe we'll get to see a lot of aggression, I believe. And if I talk about the maps, very soon we'll get to know about that. The first match has been there in the offline mode. So we are going to witness 4 matches for the day. But remember, guys, there is a prize pool of $300. We are in the week number 3. Well, 3 weeks were there. Week number 1, $300. Week number 2, $300. And now finally we are back in the week number 3. And this is actually going to be the last week out of this particular series of the Brazilian action. But there we go. We are directly diving into the match. Okay, we are not going to wait for anything else. Let's dive into the match. This is the match number 1. The map of ERANGEL is going to be there. PUBG M Pro Scrims. The Brazil action is already started. The flight part is going to start from Georgipol cities, and it is going to dunk down towards areas like Yasnapol and Lipovka. It will be very interesting to see how far the fights are going to be there. 16 teams fighting for the glory, fighting for the $300.
$300. That's a huge amount, but like you said, the flight trajectory starting all the way from the Georgia Pole, cutting all the way through those river bodies in between, which divides the north island to the main island. Going through the Rozak, I'm definitely expecting few drop clashes there, but that's about it happening, and we'll talk about it later. But it ends all the way towards the eastern sides of Yasnaya, Polyana. But if there are teams which I was able to see on the first week going all the way to military base as well, so that is going to be a challenge for the teams to be going all the way there. They will have to secure some vehicles from down south of Pochinki, if not from the Gatka regions. Or probably just avoid going there. But because the fight trajectory is all the way in the north, I'm expecting that the zone might be in the southern sides.
It's going to be really tough for those teams which are actually going to jump for ASX or some community bus. But look at that beautiful zone coming in. It is fairly central, but then again, it is actually shifting toward the eastern side of the particular map. So teams jumping down, like if I talk about in the areas like for specifically EYC Gaming, I will like to talk about them, because they're jumping in the Georgipol southwest city, I believe. So that's an area where they have to rotate a lot. Smoke Esports is going to be there, who is going to actually come up with a clash with them. But A7 Esports, that's Alpha 7 Esports, which are back in the game. Kerillo, guys like that can be quite detrimental in a game. But if I talk about GZM, there is no contestant for them whatsoever. Oh, it seems like that there is a team which is going to contest this particular team. Looking forward to see which team is that. GZM Esports is actually in a pickle with the particular area of Severny. So GZM Esports versus what is the other team? Well, definitely the fights could be there, but I'm looking forward to see what kind of impact they are actually going to bring to the table. That's Team Predators, if I'm not wrong, which is going to bring back the glory in this particular fight. So Prog is there. We have got players like Hugo, Progi, and Bros. 77 is actually going to be there as well. Well, if we talk about the guns, that's definitely going to be very important. But apart from that, looting the utilities like vest helmets and the nades and then first aid kits and stuff is also going to be very important for these guys to come up with. 1 minute and 14 seconds is what we have got, I guess, before the first zone gets shrinked down. So yes, right now taking up a fight is going to be very important for these guys, because then the zone shift will come in. There will be a dual type of attack coming up onto them. First of all, the zone is going to impact, and then the impact of the fights are also going to be there. So this definitely a thing they have to watch out for.
Well, see, there are a lot of new things that's going to happen in this week. The teams have been playing against each other for a really, really long time. And this week, probably we'll see more gunfights happening, more drop clashes. Probably teams would want to play more aggressive, want to test their guns, the gun skill that is. But for now, Team Predators versus GZM, as usual, this fight all the way from the week 1, going through week 2, and now in week 3 as well. The split that we are able to see is 2-1-1 from GZM. And similar kind of split coming from Team Predators as well. Player 4 trying to group back with his teammates. Looks like they are not in a position, or probably they do not really want to commit to this fight. They're looking forward for the longer battle than this particular one. Like I always say, it's not about this particular battle. It's about the war that you have to win. I guess Team Predators definitely understand that. Oh, no. I have to take my words. They want to aggress, and they want to try it from the other angles.
Well, taking up a fight is not going to be that easy for now, that's for sure. But yeah, there is a fight. Some nades nades are getting cooked up by Frog. Is it going to connect? That's a big question. But before that, Bro 77 is also trying to create a beautiful angle from which he can actually assist his teammate. But Team Predators player 4 is also coming up with a good nade. That could impact quite a bit. Oh, wrong window. No nades are actually going to get attacked. Or should I say attached? But apart from that, player 5, player 4, player 3, and the other guy, the Bull, is actually going to be there. Where is player number 1 and player number 2 from this particular team? Let's see what happens. The Bull is actually in the church, waiting for the right opportunity to strike on. He's just trying to be a little bit more sneaky for now. But Frog, well, what he has got is a nade in his hand. I believe he's actually lurking in the shacks that is there beyond that particular wall. But GZM and Team Predators, they're definitely in a fight for now. They can't escape. They can't back out right now. Their players can back out, but eventually the whole team cannot survive out of this blow. Yes, the tags are going to be there. Frog, oh, he gets contested with a beautiful DBA shot coming in. And just like that, one more player gets shot down. This is the first blood, I believe. And yes, it is there. Team Predators player number 4 has been able to take one beautiful fight. But look at that, another beautiful shot. That was a brilliant shot of S12K. A brilliant one indeed. But now the rampage resumes. There is a fight between player 3 and Hugo. But before that, I believe another player is going to push forward. A nade comes in. This is definitely going to be a little bit more risky for them to survive with. Another shot. Oh, that was an S1987. Definitely hoping for the connection to be made. But for now, seems like that Hugo has to wait a little bit longer in order to get that shot appointed. But for player 4, the revival is not going to come in that easily. But there are some more shots coming in. Definitely GZM is having those angles that were required at this point. One more jump shot can turn down the glorified fight. But no, that was a beautiful spray coming in. And just like that, one more retaliation, one more knockout. Player 5, player 4 out of Team Predators perspective is already knocked out. Player 3 is there. The Bull is actually going to be there. One more shot could be there. Bro 77 is definitely trying his level best to tag around, but he is not being fruitful for now. A loss of a player. Frog is already there. Hugo is already knocked out. Revival is coming up for Team Predators. It definitely seems like that this fight is actually a little bit more in the favor of Team Predators.
Team Predators, they did a really wonderful job of having all the players coming together, and they decided to attack together, which was definitely something which I believe GZM was not really looking at, because that vehicle movement was something I was not expecting myself. I was able to see everything from a bird's view. Not all the players of GZM could have seen that, or probably none of them could have seen that. But that change of angle, the change of phase that they got, Team Predators, for themselves, it definitely did affect this entire battle here. But looks like Alpha 7 wants to join this battle here. Bro 77 picked from the behind. And we have just GZM Pro G left from GZM. But Alpha 7, there you go. The beast lineup. I'm gonna be waiting for looking at more action. But looks like Alpha 7 right now is just interested to pick finishes from here and there. Pocket few of them for themselves. And look for better angles, I believe. That's what they're doing.
Well, indeed, they have to actually come up with some good angles, but Sena from Alpha 7 Esports is definitely having the advantage of the first ever frag. Alpha 7 this week could be there in the favor. This is a team that everybody loves at this point, and eventually the main roster is there, so I'm definitely hoping for a good comeback in this game. Apart from that, 7 is the region where they're trying to rotate from. There was a clash coming up in that particular area between Team Predators and GZM, if I'm not wrong, and look at that. There are some players coming from the perspective, but look at that spray. Team Predators are not looking happy at this point. The shots are there. Definitely could be able to take them down. It's a 4v4 type of clash coming up. Let's see what happens. Oh, the nades are getting cooked up. They're trying to be ready about the fight. Oh, another beautiful nade. Definitely was able to put the splash damage, but not enough to put one round from the lobby. The Bull has got crossbow. What was that? For a moment I saw crossbow coming up, but Mafiso comes up with a beautiful takedown. That's player 3 who has been taken down. Now Alpha 7 Esports is definitely looking strong. Another spray, another takedown could be possible. The Bull barely survives. Just 1 HP, just minute level of HP is there. One more spray. Oh, player 5 gets connected once again. Definitely those sneaky angles are working out for Team Alpha 7 Esports. Trying to build the synergy, but no, the DB shots are coming in. This is not looking good for Alpha 7 as well. If the play loss comes in, that could be deadly. But no, it is done. Alpha 7. 5 amazing finishes. Team Predators are actually becoming the prey, I believe. The Predators are Alpha 7 at this point.
Wordplay. I like that. But, I mean, Alpha 7, they just played this battle for themselves. I mean, I didn't really expect that to happen in a matter of few seconds. All of the players at this particular vicinity, this particular area, Severny, have been wiped out. Probably a one or two more people left. Yes, that's the case. We are able to see Pubg still being surviving, but a solo person will definitely have a really big challenge of survival game for himself. But Alpha 7, in a matter of few seconds, wipes the entire squad of Team Predators. Team Predators out of the lobby, probably the first squad to be eliminated from this particular match. But looking at the rotations, looks like there might be few rotational clashes. INCO right now in the dead center of the game. I really want to see some action against, happening between INCO and Alpha 7. So that's something I believe will happen in the end zones for now. It's going to be Influence Gaming, Lil Boy, trying to connect few bullets against this squad. KS, Knife and Skull. But on the other sides, Niho gets few bullets connected as well. So a lot of fights happening in the initial battle itself. This is exactly what I was talking about, Raider. From the beginning of the game, we are able to see a lot of actions happening. Rafa right now on his knees, looking forward for some revival. Probably it should be possible. Neil Zada will want to look at a better angle, but we definitely have Ratabu also in these areas. Will want to try something out, try something. Try to connect few bullets. But from the other side, I'm able to see another squad joining this particular fight. It's going to be a three-way battle out there now.
Oh, indeed, the fights are coming in, no doubt on that. Honor Souls definitely are trying to pick up as many as frags as possible. Zebra Master, their week number 1 was so fruitful, but eventually week number 2, they were unable to come up with some good frags. And I'm actually a little bit skeptical about the fact that they are actually going to bring back the battle in this week as well, because there are few big giants like Alpha 7 Esports is there, Black Dragons are going to be there, SCCP, the Corinthians are actually going to be there. So definitely for Zebra Masters to come up with some good battle, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. EYC, another big team coming up in the battle. Adrian is going to be there. We've got players like Grillian. Oh, the shots are there. Honor Souls might not be able to escape from that particular shot. Yes, of course, they are able to do that particular perspective right now. But yeah, falling back is not going to be a good deal. They have the compounds, so yes, the hardcovers are also going to be there. Dacia 1300, that is the choice of vehicle that these guys are actually trying to come up with for the rotations. It's Zebra Masters trying to rotate, it's Zebra Masters trying to find those angles, and all the other guys who are there in the chat, welcome on the stream, welcome on the Ruthless Hype Esports family, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Go for it. The late aim for the today is actually going to be 500 likes, I believe. Go for it. Let's see what happens. Apart from that, yes, A7 Esports is so lovely. They've got the 5 finishes, they've got the manpower, but before that, Honor Soul Stratoboy has already pretty much knocked out. Finish could be coming in by INCO Gaming, I believe. There is no questions that anybody is going to come up with a revival, because it's a very open space. Coming up with a revival for Team Honor Soul Stratoboy is going to be a very risky job. I really doubt that it will happen for now. But Nenebete gets the frag done. It's Becker who is going to have the opportunity, and Nenebete was the one who got the particular frag in his favor. INCO Gaming definitely having the advantage of 1 finish and the full manpower. Let's see how far will they be able to go. Meanwhile, Honored Soul, the other 3 members are there in a compound. They might be able to be a little bit stronger as compared to the other guy that was actually finished off, Red Boy, because he was in an open area. A solo man survival was there with him. No backups whatsoever, so that is why he was finished off. Coming back to the fact, airdrop is actually in the favor of Mandrakes, Godson.
I'm going to predict the zone to move towards northern sides. Yashnaya is what I'm going to look at. Yes, that's exactly what happens. And INCO will want to pressurize against the squads who are right now trying to, guard the zone. Probably we see some fights happening there. They are going through 2 lineups, those who are right now holding some major compounds. And yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. A lot of vehicles going left, right, center, but none that gets clashed. On the other side, Loop Esports trying to connect few bullets. INCO wanting to get few more actions for themselves. An amazing battle that they had. They definitely have warmed up themselves for today, and they are definitely going to look for some more action. But from the Gods building, the view is definitely going to be lovely enough to pick a lot of frags for themselves. Let's see if Loops Esports is going to be able to defend this entire building for them. But INCO Vitali gets spotted. No mistakes made from Mythic. Shoots him down, knocks him down, and then also confirms that Squash gets picked up as well. Influence Kevin can definitely capitalize against INCO. This rotation of INCO didn't really be fruitful for themselves. Loops Esports trying to make the best out of this particular area, this particular building known as God's building in the areas of Yashnaya. But Influence Gaming trying to definitely make some good angles for themselves. INCO not really in a good position right now.
A good day, because they are in a pickle right now. There are two teams which are trying to sandwich them. Loose Esports and Influence Gaming, both of them are trying to tag them around. Yes, one good guy is pretty much knocked out. The other one is just trying his level best to find the foot where he can rely and eventually come up with some good survival game. Meanwhile, Knife and Skull is pretty much far away, but then again, they are still hearing all the action coming up, all the commotion being there. Another beautiful nade comes in, and that's it for Nineveh. The one who actually was able to find the frag, the only one for INCO Gaming, is already knocked out. Squash on the other corner also gets compromised. So now it's Nineveh, which is actually going to be on the crosshairs, and the last man standing from Team Influence Gaming, INCO, is trying to take up some good points. Influence Gaming's Federal, a guy that you have to be feared, but oh, that nade! It was about to tag him down, but eventually that was not the case. Lilboy on the other corner from Team Influence Gaming was able to find the angle, and just like that, INCO Gaming also becomes a casualty. At hashtag 15, they have been eliminated. That means no position points whatsoever. Just one finish that they were able to get in their favor. But meanwhile, MANDRAKES gets a knockout done, and they are actually pretty much getting knocked out as well. Smoke on the other corner finds a beautiful frag, and I believe that was a frag coming on Team EYC Gaming. Adrian was finished off. SCCP Manga Rosa finds one more, but MANDRAKES are actually retaliating with the answer. One good knockout. This is going to be Midstorm, who has been taken down. Adrian on the other corner also gets compromised. Some nades are coming in. Definitely Mandrakes Esports is trying the level best to tag around and get the plays done. The nade is also there. Oh, that damage was so smooth. But still, the player from Team Mandrakes Esports was unable to finish him off. But from the back end, another beautiful team. That's Alpha 7 for you guys, who's coming up with the third party. Pretty soon that the fight will actually going to be there. Looking forward to see how Alpha 7 is going to back out this match in their favor. Is it going to be possible for them is the bigger question. But Corinthians, they're falling like a bunch of cards. Last player is going to be Tito. His survival is also pretty much impacted. A nade comes in. Definitely the damage could be there, but not enough. Goods in on the other corner comes with the Groza spray, and that was a good DBS shot coming up indeed. Before this, we were looking at the SA action, guys, and believe it or not, the current meta in the PUBG is all about the nades and the DBS. And look at that. The Brazilian teams are also using the same. Another beautiful DBS shot, and that's done. Smokey Esports was able to finish off EYC Gaming with the loss of one single player.
Lot of teams getting eliminated quite sooner than later. We are definitely going to see a lot of breathing space for the squads who are going to survive till the end. But Influence Gaming trying to be cheeky enough, trying to hold the compounds as much as possible and as much as they could be able to survive. That's really good for them. But on the other side, we are able to see Knife and Skull. They are they're trying to get a better zone area for themselves, and on the other side, I'm definitely able to see GZM, the sole person surviving from that lineup, is still being able to do the best out of the situation. Not for long. Gets spotted, gets picked up. On the other side, the zone is also doing its own... it's playing its own game there. It's definitely affecting players who are outside. But Alpha 7 holding a really small compound. Not much to worry about, but if there's going to be a bit of overpeak, then they might be punished as well.
But being in a small compound also gives you the advantage of getting the revival done ASAP. So that is also a big thing. But apart from that, look at that. Alpha 7 Esports have already got the zone advantage. They are pretty much in the center. There are quite a few teams which can come up with a clash, like Rise Esports or teams like Knife and Skull, which are pretty much on the northern angles. They can come up with a fight, but before that, they have to tally with the sprays coming up from Team Alpha 7 Esports. Meanwhile, if we talk about Knife and Skull, look at that. They have got the approach right, trying to tag out the players from Smoke Esports, and they can do it because it's a loss of manpower for Smoke Esports, to be honest. Nades gets cooked up, but before that, S1987 shot is going to be there, but the retaliation was absolutely on point, and that's it. Nitos gets knocked out. On the other corner, Nitos actually is finished off. But if we talk about the sprays coming in, definitely Smoke Kuno is still surviving. Bye is also going to be there, who's trying to build a farewell for his enemies. 4 amazing finishes for Team Smoke, still trying to find that angle. Another nade could come in. Oh, before that, Senra was able to take that nade on the location. I guess the gate was closed up, but still the shots are coming in. Kuno is still surviving. From the other corner, it's Bye who's trying to rotate, who's trying to figure out the angle from which he can take up the fight. But another beautiful nade. Senra is definitely trying his level best to survive for now, as Bye can change the pace of the game. Loops on the other corner finds one team from the team of Honored Soul. It's Rafina who has been taken down. Bye is about to go and get out of equation because the zone damage is way too high. And yes, exactly, that's what happened. The zone damage was there, but the retaliation fire was also on point. Zabra Marshall on the other corner, along with teams like Black Dragons, are also getting attacked quite a bit. Smoky Sports, yes, they have been eliminated, but Knife and Skull, their one good player is pretty much knocked out. I believe the revival is a little bit on the skeptical side, but it could happen because the zone damage is not going to be that amplified. But after that, the 5th zone will come in, and in that particular zone, if you're stuck outside the zone, it's done for you.
Well, the zone is going to play its own game. Let's see where this curveball is going to be made. Alpha 7 right now looking really good, but not anymore. Loops is definitely going to enjoy this battle for them because they are holding the tallest building in this particular area. But on the other side, if we are able to see in the south, we are going to see some battle happening in the open. And that has actually already started. Black Dragons going all in against ZM right now. They managed to pick a couple of knocks. They will definitely want to confirm it, not really aggressing much, and actually not going to use those bullets. They are going to get the job done with the nades itself. With that, Zebra Masters get picked up. We are left with just 9 teams right now, with the Loops having the tallest building. Alpha 7 still 4-man strong. Influence Gaming still 4-man strong. Knife and Skull looks like they have lost a player. We will have to wait for the live status to come up to understand on what's going to happen. But see, what I'm able to see is from all the squads right now, Alpha 7 is probably the only squad right now which is all out in the open, trying to use their vehicles and those smokes to survive till the end and make picks against Influence. The 2 squads which are trying to survive at the best possible are now into a fight. On the other side, Dice gets into some action as well. Probably the first finish from this match. Let's see how far do they go in this one.
No, on the other corner, Nino comes up with a beautiful nade. That's Knife and Skull which is getting attacked. And another beautiful spray, and that is going to be Carrillo. The guy, the man, the myth, the legend has been knocked out. Can he survive? Can he come back in the game? That's a big question. Rise Mufasa finds one. That's going to be Jose from Team Mandrakes Esports. Some good shots coming in from Rise's corner as well, but Mandrake are countering every single attack that is there. And look at that. There is a trio that is actually trying to punish them off, and that's it. Done for Team X. They are actually out of equation. XTEAM is pretty much done. XTEAM is now finished off, and there is a way for Loops Esports and Influence Gaming to take up a fight, but Ayla on the other corner finds a way. Mythic is there. Chief is actually going to have the height advantage out of this particular fight, so definitely looking forward to see what kind of impact this will bring to the lobby. But yes, 8 teams and 23 players are surviving. That definitely means that the manpower is there. For every single team, I believe there is a manpower. But on its souls, I'm a little bit skeptical about their survival for now, because Nino is the only guy which is surviving. Revo on the other corner changes the pace of the game. It's Nunes who has been taken down, gets finished off. Seems like that Rise Esports is about to get finished off soon enough. On the other corner, Nino, what can he bring to the table? That's a big question. Pretty much close to the guys coming from Team Knife and Skull. Survival is something which is going to be a little bit more skeptical. But Rise, they are there, trying to rise back in the game. But look at that. Who is going to stop them? That's Alpha 7, which is trying to gatekeep the team known as Rise Esports. Another zone shift can change the pace of the game. Let's see where the zone is going to go. Oh, that's brilliant. Ooh. Now everybody has to be in the open area. Alpha 7, who's pretty much over there, is going to gatekeep every single team, but they can also become the center of attraction. They can overcome it. So that could be the case where Alpha 7 Esports is going to go down. But apart from that, guys, thank you for coming up here. But need a Molly. That's what actually is making a lot of trouble. But it seems like that Revo is going to repatch himself. That was a brilliant approach coming in, but Carrillo is pretty much close. He was trying to scout with a buggy. Maybe it will be possible. Oh, spots and sprays are coming in, but gets knocked out. That's it. Mapiso gets taken down, but fade. Look at that. A beautiful trade indeed coming up. It's Sena, just like an army, manages to back out. It's done. Alpha 7 Esports having some beautiful finishes. Rise Esports has been eliminated with just 1 frag in this particular game at #7. That means 1 for the position, 1 for the finish. That's all. Alpha 7, no doubt, is the team everybody has to watch out for.
But well, the battle is still up between Loops Esports and Influence Gaming. This is going to be a 3v3 for now. So player getting spotted. Chief gets a knock out of this particular battle. That there is definitely another player that he's managed to spot, but Mythic gets knocked in this particular trade. Alpha 7 from behind might be able to choke Loops Esports. Last blow actually comes from Alpha 7 side, which definitely affects their game, the battle against Influence. But Influence was definitely able to manage to pick a lot of finishes from themselves. Alpha 7 getting into another fight against Black Dragons. Definitely a bit of a choke probably, but no, it's actually going to be a 3v1, and the distance of this particular fight is going to be a lot more than what we are able to see, what I was able to see initially. But Influence Gaming right now will want to get into the fight and will want to also get into the zone, but Alpha 7 not in the mood to have them inside.
Well, see, Alpha 7 Esports is a team everybody has to watch out for. And look at the kind of picks that they are coming up with. They are in the top 4, having 12 amazing finishes, and right now still trying to gatekeep every single team which is trying to be in the zone. That shot was decent. Eventually, due to that dip advantage, I believe the guy was able to survive. Alpha 7 Esports could actually come up with an overcommit. That can happen because now they are looking very confident. That confidence can be changed into overconfidence. It can happen quite rapidly. You don't even know that kind of, like, let's say, margin is going to be there. But yes, Knife and Skull comes up with some good shots. Black Dragon on the other corner. That's Rike, who was actually trying to tag around the guys. It was unfruitful, to be honest. Mephisto is pretty much lit, but then he will be able to survive, no doubt on that. Some mollies are coming in. That could be connecting with Moral. No, that's not the case. Influence Gaming and Kawasaki. Law. These are the two guys which are trying to rotate from extremely northern corner of this particular circle. That could be possible for them, but Alpha 7 Esports is already trying to gatekeep the major chunk of this circle in their favor. Black Dragons could be the one team which can change the pace of the game. Knife and Skulls EH has been finished off. Revo comes up with a beautiful knockout, and once again it is Team Black Dragons which is actually at the backstabbing angle, but might not survive. Kawasaki on the other corner is also there, but Carrillo is actually on a rampage. He's just trying to circle his vehicle and figure out where the enemy is. But that shot, though, it was very important. It was very decent, to be honest. The survival of Team Influence Gaming is looking a little bit on the shaky end. I really doubt that they will be able to survive, but those shots are something which can make me worry. The smokes are there, trying to put up some good covers. 14 amazing finishes for Alpha 7 Esports. They can easily bag out set of, like, let's say 6 finishes. If that happens, it would be absolutely amazing. A 30-pointer game could be coming in. That has not happened yet. After the new point distribution system came in. I mean, the matches that I've cast, it has not happened in those matches. Yeah, Black Dragons, Serol is here. Rike is going to be there. Trying to actually just repatch, rebuild their strategies, survive a bit more, but no, that's not going to be easy. Mephisto comes up with a beautiful shot. Killerzada on the other corner manages to knock one from Team Influence Gaming, and all these guys are just making the job of Alpha 7 Esports a little bit easier.
Alpha 7 is actually capitalizing against all the teams right now, but this is all down to just 4 of Alpha 7 and 1 man right now surviving from the Black Dragons. He's managed to spot one, he's managed to take one down, but he's also got a lot of toll against himself. He will want to patch himself up, but looks like he's not really having those seconds that he will want to have for himself to patch himself up. Okay, but looks like he's able to manage to get that. Sena trying to get this knock through the vehicle itself, but probably not. Mafioso does the job, and with that, Alpha 7 a winner chicken dinner with huge number of finishes that there is. If I'm not wrong, the last I saw that they had was about 14. With Black Dragon's final person getting picked up, probably we are going to look at somewhere around 15 to 17 finishes, but Alpha 7. Okay, I'll go with 17.
I'll go with 18. Let's go at least 18. I'm talking about at least 18. Let's see what kind of point. 18, okay. Yeah, at least 18. That's what I'm actually going to predict. Oh, 17. That's the exact number. Lovely.
Right. So we are going to have Alpha 7 winning the first match in this particular week of Ruthless Hype was presenting PUBG Mobile's Pro Scrims for the Brazil region. #1. Quite an amazing start. A total of 27 points from the first match itself. That's Alpha 7 for you all.
Alpha 7 Esports indeed. The fight is actually there. But Mephisto, what a beautiful match indeed. Mephisto, I guess that's the name. 8 amazing eliminations, and the damage of 1000 is going to be there from his corner. He could definitely be the MVP of the game, but before that, if I talk about Carrillo, what he had was 3 amazing eliminations. 1203 is the damage. Revo top on the other corner manages to bag out 3 eliminations, and Sena also comes up with 3 eliminations. Grand total of 17 finishes from the corner, 10 for the position points. Indeed, that is the team which is going to be on top, no doubt on that. No questions asked, no answers given, I believe. That is the Alpha 7 Esports that we were watching out for, that we were trying to witness in the previous 2 weeks. Well, $600 are out of equation for them for the first 2 weeks, but right now when they are able to come back in the game, they are definitely looking strong. I really hope that they will be able to bag out some good points more than like this one, and in the upcoming stages they might be able to bag out the whole tournament as well. Maybe that's quite possible. The prize pool of $300 is at stake. Apart from that, the glory of Alpha 7 Esports is at stake. The fans are here to support them. We are here to support them. Let's see what happens eventually. Yes, the start is quite good for Alpha 7 Esports, but some honorable mentions like Black Dragons are going to be there. No doubt in that. That team was also quite good. Killerzada, look at that guy. Particularly, he was the last one standing, if I'm not wrong. Was able to take one knockout as well from Alpha 7 Esports. Was trying to put a lot of hard situation on Alpha 7 Esports. But let's talk about the teams to watch. First of all, 4 amazing teams which are able to have the advantage of this particular game. First of all, it's going to be Alpha 7 Esports, which was able to have the rotation of 11.5 kilometers, I believe, approximately like that. but 15 nades, 26 smokes coming from the corner. One airdrop was also looted. Total full squad time was 24 minutes 59 seconds. Meanwhile, coming back to Influence Gaming, it's 6,360 meters of rotation coming from the corner. 12 nades, 24 smokes, 21 minutes, sort of 22 minutes type of full squad time is going to be there. Black Dragons, not a lot of rotations because this team jumped in the Yasna Polana vicinity and they were able to take that fight for a longer period in the particular area, although they were rotating in the last few circles. That's it. MVP definitely is going to be Kerilho, because look at the number of damage, look at the number of assists this guy was able to bring to the table.
It's a game of 4 people playing together, trying to make the best out of their squad and trying to get that winner chicken dinner. But one man definitely pushes it, and that was going to be the MVP in himself. But talking about the match ranking, ladies and gentlemen, Alpha 7 Esports getting 27 points from a particular match of ERANGEL in week number 3, day number 1, match number 1. That's an amazing start for them. And not so far behind, we have Influence Gaming. Did a wonderful job of survival, but not able to survive as much as they thought they could. The zone didn't really, stick to them, and that definitely caused some, an early elimination, I would say. But 11 points for them, and then we have Black Dragons with 11, Louvre Esports at 4th with 9, Mandrakes with 8, and Knife and Skull at 6th position with 8 points as well.
Well, indeed, if I talk about the bottom teams like XTEAM, Zebra, they went out way too early. Not in the terms of survival time, but eventually, if I talk about the points, look at that. Just not even a single point to be precise. What can we actually talk about them at this point? Because they were unable to bag out even a single point in this particular matchup. Hopefully, in the next few matches, they will be able to secure a lot, maybe some good points as well in their favor. Apart from that, coming back to the match summary, highest elimination is definitely going to be in the favor of A7's Mafluso, with 8 eliminations in his favor. Highest damage will be there in the hands of Kerilho, and apart from that, the highest assist is also going to be there in Kerilho's hand. And if we talk about the highest hitting done, again, Mafluso coming from Alpha 7 Esports will be able to get the advantage, but the highest knockouts, well, that's the thing where Black Dragons Esports' Killer Zada came in and was able to get 5 amazing knockouts for the team. That's it for the job. Match summary is done. Talking about the match statistics, I believe we'll get to see that as well. Yes, 58 eliminations were there, 7,953 is the total healing done, 59 knockouts, 333 throwables being used. That's a huge number to be precise. 4 airdrops being looted, 4 headshots, and then 15 rescues was also there. But Alpha 7 Esports' Sena is the guy who was able to back out the highest, or should I say the longest elimination in this particular match, in the first match of the week number 3. Well, it was in the hands of Team Alpha 7 Esports' Sena. A 268 meters of the longest elimination distance was there. Coming back to some more details like overall ranking, as we said, Alpha 7 Esports is still on top. It will actually remain on top, but Black Dragons with 11 points in the favor.
Right. So what I will want to tell about this particular game, this particular match, is that we were able to see more knocks than finishes. The zone didn't really play a good game there. I'm really sure that the zone was able to get a lot of finishes for itself, which means the Pubg gods is definitely happy with their own performance that there is. But Alpha 7, ladies and gentlemen, gets that first match chicken dinner for them, and I'm sure they're already celebrating. And what I was able to see from Alpha 7 from week number 1 to week number 3 is that the aggression was on point. But we'll talk about it more after a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is going to be Echo Boy with me. We have an amazing, and this time I will say handsome person, Raider with me, because he didn't really like the compliment that I gave the previous time.
I was
But
surprised. That's it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But well, that surprise is what we both have right now for
Mhm.
the way the game was actually turned out to be. Alpha 7 from the beginning of this game played it so excellently well. All the
Mhm.
four players survived till the end, and the aggression. There were a lot of times I saw the buggy getting in play, but not once that the buggy's tire got punctured. Look at the kind of pressure that they're able to put on the opponent's head, because the first, if I'm not wrong, the first battle that they had against Team Predators at 70,
Yeah.
that was their ground. That is where they dropped. They know inside out, they know the angles, but they choked. They choked in a single compound. All the angles was covered by Alpha 7. And with that fight, we were able to see on how this entire game actually turned out to be, because every fight that Alpha 7 was in, they did the same. They surrounded the entire enemy. They created the pressure. The team was not able to understand on how they are going to get attacked, because there was this buggy that was rotating. The entire concentration went there, and then from the other side where the cover fire was already set, the flanker, or I mean the vice versa, whatever we call them, he was able to get that knock, created that pressure, sweep the entire lineups one after the other. 17 freaking eliminations. Alpha 7 Esports.
See, there was a time where this art of deception was not actually there in the game, but right now, as players are evolving, the jiggle came in like year 2022, I believe, 2020, I guess. And after that, things like peak and then jiggle and the crowd shots and the drop shots came in 2021. And right now, if I talk about 2022, that was the year we saw a lot of shifts in the gameplay. Like utilities being used, shotguns coming up in the play, DMR being replaced by the sniper rifles. So yes, these guys are evolving, no doubt in that. But let's talk about the map schedule to see what kind of evolution is there in the whole game right now. And in the map schedule, you'll get to see that match number 2 will be in the map of Miramar, then it will be ERANGEL, and then again Miramar will come in. But remember guys, the match number 1 was in favor of Alpha 7 Esports, where they were able to bag out a 27-pointer of a game. Coming back to the statistics, guys, would love to tell you that the match that is not going to happen today, the 5th one, is going to be there on the final day, on the 3rd day, I mean. We will have 6 matches, so there is no matches which is going to happen in the offline mode. Every match is going to be there, live streamed to you guys, telecasted and talked about on the particular streams. So the only thing is that on the last day, on the final day, we'll get to see 6 matches. So there is a succession, like in the first day, I mean today, we are going to have only 4 matches. What happens tomorrow is going to be 5 matches, and then eventually in the final day, we'll have 6 matches. And apart from that, we'll get to know who is the champion of this week, number 3 of the whole PUBG Mobile Ruthless Pro Series presented by Ruthless IP Esports. This is the Brazil action, no doubt in that. It's week number 3, and Alpha 7 Esports is already booming it out.
Well, a lot about Alpha 7 right now, but we'll also have to want to talk about Influence CHEMIN. They did a really wonderful job. Black Dragons, they also did a really wonderful job.
No doubt. Yeah.
They will have to maintain what they're doing, because what I'm able to see from Influence CHEMIN is that they don't have that consistency. They play a really great game, or they are getting choked in the initial game of any given map. So I will want to see one thing from Influence CHEMIN. Probably they're not going for the aggression, but the consistency. If they're going to end in top 5 every game that they're playing, I guess they'll be able to make the best out of this particular week. But this week, again, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be for $300. Received anything from from any team, so I'm just going to keep myself neutral. And if I'm going to get some tip coming from any team, then I guess I'll be talking good about them. So teams, if you're listening to me, if you want me to talk more good about you, you know what you have to do. But Raider,
You have to bribe him. Okay. Yeah.
You don't say that. It's implied.
That's the thing you're actually implying. Yeah, okay. That's okay.
Map number 2, Miramar, is on its way, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll want to hear from Raider. Raider, why don't you tell me what you're going to expect from Miramar? It's said that it's a passive match. I mean, it's a passive map. But looking at the game that I saw from map number 1, I'm really, really surprised, or probably I will take back that thing that I always say, that Miramar is known for its passive nature.
it is known for its passive nature, but currently, after seeing Alpha 7 Esports, the way they were actually starting it off, well, we are actually talking about Alpha 7 Esports a lot because they have changed the pace of the game altogether. Because in week number 1, week number 2, what happened? A very passive approach came in from this particular team. Like for the first 10 minutes, nobody was moving from their compounds, nobody was trying to tackle, nobody was trying to take up some good fights. But what happens when Alpha 7 Esports, the main roster, the OG one comes in? They're already starting with some good fights. They were dropping in areas like Georgia Pool, Northwest City, and then eventually they rotated to 70. They were able to take some fights over there. They moved into Yasnaya Polena. Again, some fights came in onto there. And eventually after that, the chicken dinner also come in. So in this match as well, I would love to see where Alpha 7 Esports, teams like Influence Gaming or other teams like Black Dragons would jump in. And what kind of clash these teams are actually going to bring to the table. The countdown is already there. And in just 0 seconds, I believe we'll get to see the PUBG Mobile, Ruthless, Pro Series, Pro Scrims, whatever you want to call it out. In the Brazil action, it is actually here. Match number 2. It's Raider and Echo Boy on the flight path, and eventually this is the C-130J, which has actually taken the flight path aboard the teams which are actually going to perform in this one. Flamingo Esports is also there in the game. Remember guys, there are 5 groups. So yes, there is a shuffle of groups. Flamingo Esports is finally back in the game. Teams like Brazilian Killers are there, Storm Gaming, Sci-Fi Esports are there, which were not in the previous matchup. Alpha 7 Esports is still going to be in the game. So love to see what happens right now. Love to see what happens, what kind of impact is going to be there. But if
I guess we're going to see aggression.
we might see that. Because look at that, a lot of teams are jumping in the close quarter vicinities.
Well, having that said, the map trajectory looks really good for all the teams. A bit bad for the teams who really want to be going towards the Los Leones and more towards that side of the map. But looks like we might just see a team or two trying to reach there. One more thing that I will really want to highlight is that this map is going to be of 88 kilometers, just like ERANGEL, but the land mass is going to be about 80% as compared to ERANGEL, which is about 59-ish. We will round it up to 60. And as compared to ERANGEL, the vehicle availability in this map is less. And also the health of these vehicles are quite less as well. So the teams will have to be a bit careful, but wow. Where it is not easy to reach is where we have the zone, Los Leones in the dead center.
Well, the circle is looking quite amazing, to be honest. Los Leones being the center of the circle, but there is already a fight coming here. The first blood comes in from Team X, if I'm not wrong. That's Pubg who was able to back out that initial frag, and apart from that, that's Storm Gaming. Definitely there is a clash between that Picardo region, but look at that, another beautiful shot comes in, a beautiful knockout indeed. One good guy from Team INCO Gaming is already knocked out, another one gets taken down, but the retaliation was on point. M416 Becker is actually going to be the guy with the M416 is there. A beautiful showcase of his talent. Smokes Matthews is actually knocked out. Now INCO definitely wants to come back in the game, but can they come back? That's a big question right now. Squash and Ninebete was able to actually get knocked out, but then Squash was able to back out the first finish of this particular game, and then Becker also comes up with the finish. Now it's team which is known as I believe Smoke, which is on the back foot. The 3 members have been taken down. The last one wants to fall back, and that's going to be Bye-Bye, who's trying to build a farewell to this area.
Well, initial fights is what Raider looks at, and probably I'm also getting quite interested for these things happening. But Smoky Sports, Bye-Bye, trying to find people. But on the other side, with Charlie gets Kuna. Kuna is definitely getting picked up, and INCO looks quite strong right now, ladies and gentlemen. Smoky Sports, Bye-Bye, being the final person surviving out in the open. Not much of an the utilities that he has, not much of a armor that he has. In terms of helmet, he has nothing. In terms of bag, he's not carrying one, which means as such, he doesn't really have the loot to survive till the last zone. But if he's able to sneak out from this vicinity, probably with the help of Team Predators trying to get against INCO, and I'm sure that Smoke probably might be able to survive for a bit more longer, and then he can look at looting, and then also look at picking up few frags in the last zones. But for now, Knife and Skull, an average game that they had in match number 1. In the initial game of Miramar, they have lost 1 player. It's going to be 3-man for them. They're concentrating on their loot, but in the near vicinity, we are able to see Team Predators. So if I'm not wrong, I'm able to see XTEAM, I'm able to see Team Predators, Knife and Skull, and INCO all in the same region, and with Smoke Esports bye surviving on those mountains.
Well, indeed, he's trying his level best to just get as far as away from the commotion and maybe come up with some good survival points for the team. But the newer meta, the newer point distribution system says that whatever you want to do, survive as many as matches that you want to survive with. But eventually, if you don't have kills, you are not going to have the advantage of having the first position in the overall leaderboard. Rise, Mufasa on the other corner, 7, Gary X, Nunes are the members which are trying to rotate with the buggies. Well, there is a team which is actually pretty much close to the circle, pretty much close to the area where they are rotating, where Rise Esports is rotating. They're trying to avoid those fights, trying to actually find those angles from which they can survive and do some amazing shifts. Oh, Mufasa is coming up with some good changes, I guess, in the game. 7, also with the Coupe RG, he's trying to rotate, but this is a very bumpy road. I really doubt that the rotation are going to be that easy. Team Raiders, the Bull comes up. X team is also trying to be here. Kazu from Team Knife and Skull is also going to be there. That's Kazuto, I believe. So some good shots are awaited. AKM is in the hands. Higor could be the one who gets connected for the first time. But the Bull gets picked off with the beautiful shots coming from Katsu. And that's it. X team wanted to pop out and they're already popping it out. And let's see what happens to Higor as well. He has predicted. He has got the idea of the particular location. Wanted to get the height advantage. Gets it. Oh man, this can change. This can be drastic. This can be quite amazing to see. Kazuto, well, he has got the cover from the back end from his teammate, that Senra guy. The shots are coming in, definitely trying to tag him apart, but player 4 from team known as Team Predator was able to get one from Team X team as well. So now X team is under trouble. A molly comes in that could tag out the guy Kazuto. Oh no, that's not the case. The tagging is not going to be there. So player 3 on the back end of the church could come up with some good shots on Team Knife and Skull as well.
Knife and Skull getting a bit sandwiched in this particular game, but I'm able to see Team Predators, one of the players, if you're able to see in the mini-map, there's one player who has come all the way from the other side, and he's trying to, churn out some damage against X Team as well. Team Predators is playing a really good game right now. They're trying to make the best out of this particular situation. Knife and Skull in a lot of pressure, X Team as well. But on the other side, like I was talking, player 5 trying to do the best possible right now. Morale is down on his knees, gets confirmed as well. Knife and Skull not really looking good at this particular situation. Just 2 men surviving. X team from the other side is also going to pressure them. Player 5 and player 3 right now are all out on their guns, and they really want to be telling these all opponents that, hey, if I have this gun with me, you are going to face a lot of issues from my side. But no, not really. Player 4 gets picked, which means X team is also really good with their gun game.
No doubt on that. X team is a very confident team, no doubt on that. And eventually in the previous week as well, they were quite good. So in this week, they are trying to bring back the glory for the team. Oh, they are fighting. I would love to see where other teams are, like INCO and Influence Gaming are also jumping. But right now, talking about the fight, yes, X team has lost one good member. That's going to be Katsu. Pretty much on the front end, he got casualized, I believe. But now, if we talk about Knife and Skull and Team Predators, after losing 2 good players from Team Predators' perspective, falling back is going to be the main meta of this guys. But M24 is there in the hand of the enemy, and SLR is there with the Team Predators guy. So let's see who's going to win, the tap shots or the sniper shots. Definitely in the long range, I believe that single tap shot can work out quite good. And eventually, if we talk about the helmet, that was of level 1. So definitely one good shot can actually make a knockout out of this particular perspective. But right now, trying to fall back is going to be the case for X team. They're trying to be a little bit more on the far end of this particular circle so that they can survive a bit. After having 4 finishes, definitely you've got the initial meta in your hand. But then you want to get as many as finishes that's possible, so that eventually in the last stage, or should I say at the end game, you are actually going to get the advantage of that particular circle.
See, now that you've been talking about the circle, I really want to see on where it's going to be pushing all these squads, because the way the entire flight trajectory has been, it's going to be difficult for the teams to rotate all the way inside with so many, ups and downs and twists and turns, and with not many vehicles available, and the speed of which is also less, and the, the stability of the vehicles is also quite less. With that being said, Drake is definitely getting spotted from the sides of INCO. The shots are going to be continuously churned out with that mini Vitali trying to connect few more bullets. Hose is wanting to rotate, and the rotation is what all the teams are going to look at. But look at that, Corinthians doing the longest rotation of what I believe I could have ever seen. And the zone, do you expect, Raider, do you expect the zone to go further more towards the south? And we see something that happens in the edges. Okay. But okay, I would also want to highlight the fact that you have always told that Los Leones is a zone magnet. And I also believe that it is. I'm confused on where this particular zone is going to end up and what it is actually going to cause for these teams. But for now, ooh, the close call, the really, really close call. Godzin actually not looking in a good position against Storm. The attack is going to be from the Mandrake side. They are definitely caught out in the open. Storm was already settled in this area. I would want to see that Storm is dominating this fight. But if Mandrakes got their angles right, probably they are going to win this one.
See, for Mandrake's Esports, taking out this fight is really very important because they're not looking that good in terms of the standings at this point. They are at #6. They have to increase a bit so that they can come up with some good points. No doubt in that. But right now, Jose, Nicholas, Acid, and Godzin, these are the 4 members which are surviving. There is a fight between Mandrake's Esports and Storm Gaming. This is the first match for Storm. Pereira comes up with a good knockout. That's Godzin who has been taken down. That's a huge opening, I believe. But coming back in the game, it's a little bit on the shaky side. Reason is pretty much clear that there are a lot of smokes. You can't predict where the enemy is, but finally the shots are coming in. It's not going to be that fruitful, but there is a backup coming in. Dark Jose and his teammates are pretty much knocked out. The last one standing is going to be on the back end. It is not at all looking good for Team Mandrake's Esports. Look at that. The last one standing, Jose, pretty much on the back end with the M4 section with some good smokes. Wants to fall back. Can he? That's the big question.
Well, the zone, the pressure from the opponent's team, everything is going to be a factor that he will want to consider for himself. But for now, Hose, he is going to be the final person surviving. If he's able to revive Godzin, that's another story. But a nade getting good from the other side and a few bullets that might be getting shot from the left side as well. An amazing scope in and a knock coming from Hose. But he takes a lot of damage against himself. Through the smoke, the bullets trying to be connected from the Elzin side. He was not able to do that, but the zone is definitely going to play a major role to reduce the opponent's health. And with that, Storm Knot definitely gets hosed down with that UMP 45. Four amazing finishes for Storm. This is something that I was expecting because Storm already scouted this entire area and had their angles checked. It's going to be quite fatal for Mandrakes, but they will have to try their best from the next game if they have more for the day.
Looking forward to see. Yes, indeed. I believe they are actually going to be a few more matches for Mandrake's Esports. The thing is, in every day, a particular group is going to get at least 4 matches. So that is the kind of case. But right now, in this week, shifts are there. Reason being, today we are going to witness only 4 matches. Tomorrow, 5. Day after tomorrow, 6 matches. So yeah, there can be some shuffles coming in. Loops Esports coming up very close to Knife and Skull. Oh, now the nades could actually welcome them. Let's see what happens for now. Seems like that Loops Esports is still pretty much adamant on the fact that they're going to rotate and their vehicles are still moving out of the equation. But Alpha 7 Esports finally made their way in the zone. Erilo and the other members are also trying to push forward a little bit more. Yes, Los Angeles could be the hub of the zones, but right now it's pushing a little bit on the southern side. That's interesting for me because there is a lot of water body, despite of being the fact that this is the 3rd zone. But if I talk about the area, that is actually coming up like the 3rd one. Okay, I guess that's the 2nd zone if I'm not wrong. Yes, this is the 2nd zone.
Yeah.
Very soon the compromisation of this zone is going to be there. I believe in just 30 seconds, the zone will move. So a lot of teams have to be actually there, putting their paddle on the gas so that they can rotate, so that they can actually come up with some good placement points and good placement as well in the lobby. Because it's really very important to have those compounds where you can defend yourself, where you can survive a bit more. If you don't have those compounds, the revival is not going to be there. One small mistake, one knockout can easily open up the chance of the enemy's push onto you. But CLO is there, trying to rotate on the upper ridge on the height advantage area. Loops is there, Smoke is actually going to be there. One more team is trying to rotate towards him. So a lot of teams are trying to contest for the same location. And I'm happy as a caster, would love to see those clashes coming in.
But for now, Loops rotating, and against them we have this lineup IG. On the other side, Corinthians are going against Team Predators, and Rice is also getting a few damage from their opponents. That doesn't really look good for them, but that should be a few, knocks here and there. And if there is going to be a fight, then I'll definitely want to be witnessing that. But now, Loop's 2-man right now in this vicinity probably might get sandwiched between Team Smoke and IG. It is something that we will have to see. But one thing that we know is that Smoke Bye Bye is the solo person surviving, and probably he will want to count his bullets right now, because if he's going to let himself in a situation where he's visible, then probably he might get taken down, and it might just not be a result which his team or he would want. But for now, EYC Gaming out in the open, Miramar known for fights on the ridges, and that's exactly what we might be able to see against Knife and Skull if they're going to rotate furthermore closer, or probably against Loop that EYC Gaming would want to fight against. But all being said, one side we have Team X, that is XTEAM, getting eliminated.
Well, the eliminations are actually going to be followed up pretty soon. Alpha 7, I'm pretty much skeptical about the fact as well that they are actually getting tagged around quite a bit. Corinthians on the other corner, outside the particular pro zone, the Prada one is actually going to get taken down. Brazilian Killers and some more teams which are actually there in this particular group are actually trying to change the pace of the game, because if you guys remember, match number 1 was in the hands of group A, B, C and D. Right now, D is actually taking a leave and they are taking a rest. And apart from that, we have got groups like group I guess E is there in the game, and that is the reason why the changes of the pace of the game is coming up. Teams like Sci-Fi Esports or even Brazilian Killers are looking so strong in the game. Like Alpha 7 is also getting shut down. I guess the last 2 members from Alpha 7 Esports are still surviving. They're trying to be a little bit closer to Rise Esports. There could be a fight between those giants. Sci-Fi Esports and Brazilian Killers are also on the same page. One guy from Team Corinthian is already knocked out. So yes, the rampage is there. Numerous knockouts are coming in, but let's see how far those knockouts are going to result in terms of the eliminations as well. 14 teams, 40 players are there. Brazilian Killers with 2 good finishes. Having the, like, let's say, outskirts of the zone in their favor is not a good advantage. They should be in the zone for now. In just 20 seconds, the zone shift is going to be there. And Loops Esports is the one team which is having the edge of the zone and trying to gatekeep a lot of teams which are trying to find their way inside the particular play zone. If they are able to do so, if they're capable, if they are actually going to be fruitful out of this particular situation, they might be able to get a lot of finishes. For example, look at EYC. They're pretty much close to them. If they push forward, they can actually come up as an casualty. But Sena on the other corner from Team Alpha 7 Esports is going to get the airdrop advantage. Storms Esports Alazin comes up with another beautiful knockout. It's Pereira who's also going to get taken down. Flamingo Esports, GC God is not going to stop. He's going to come up with some good shots. A beautiful nade in the FPP mode is going to play there. Maybe we'll be able to tag out GC God. Oh, it was a far-fetched one. Wasn't able to make any kind of connection, but was definitely able to push down Flamingo Esports' GC God a little bit on the western side.
Well, that definitely did happen, but Storm Gaming looking really good. They definitely want to go all out against Flamingo. I believe they know the positions, but right now they are on the downside of the hill, which means an upper height advantage might just help Flamingo to turn this entire battle for for themselves. But on the other side, the pressure that Storm is creating and the slow build that they're having against Flamingo in this particular fight, this might this might just create a panic situation for Flamingo, and they might just want to measure all the strats that they had. But oh my god, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular vicinity, and EYC Gaming going all out against this particular squad. They managed to get 1 knock, but the fight continues between Storm against Flamingo. Flamingo GC card has already been picked up. Looks like there's just one more final person surviving from Flamingo's end, at least in this vicinity. No, I must correct myself. There's another guy who is trying to give a backup from the other side, but will he be able to find the angles to give the right backup? It's a big question. Storm Ellison is not wanting to stop. He has deployed the smoke there where he wanted, and the entire team is going to march down and try to get as many picks as possible. Taco getting spotted. Toiko getting spotted. Fox also on the other side. The two players who were really close against Storm gets knocked, gets picked, and it's all down to just 2 more.
The knockers. Oh, definitely is looking quite interesting for now. But Brazilian Killers, oh, what a game from their corner. They're definitely trying to tag around every single guy that is there in the lobby. Whoever comes in front of them is actually going to go down to their knees, getting knocked out. But no, it's Diego who comes up with a beautiful nade. Sci-Fi Esports, Lennon on the other corner also gets taken over by Rise Esports. Storm Elanzine manages to back out one from Flamingo Esports. Brazilian Killers, well, I was quite happy to see this team going aggressive. But look at them right now. They're just falling like a bunch of cards. because the last man standing from Brazilian Killers might not survive a little bit longer. A good nade, a good spray can actually back out the finish, and it will be able to wipe him out of the equation. But Alpha 7 Esports is trying to make their way in the zone, and they are able to do so. But on the other corner, Brazilian Killers' last man standing is still there. The nades are coming in. Rise Esports is looking confident. There are other teams like SCCP who are trying to push forward, and look at that. The push is there, and I believe that's it. That's it for Brazilian Killers. That's a Casa curse, I believe.
Master Curse is definitely true, ladies and gentlemen. We have Brazilian players getting eliminated, but what I'm more excited about is the fight that is going to happen between Alpha 7 versus INCO, and Rise Esports might just be able to capitalize this entire situation. Rise is trying to get the angles right, but will they be able to, or are they just going to commit themselves in a fight between the mammoths there? But I'm able to see INCO trying to commit for this particular fight. Will they be able to get the best out of this particular fight or not is a big question. But for now, Sina, he's on the FFP mode. He knows that he has to get this particular fight right and particular fight for themselves, or else this might just not be good because they have to maintain that throne for them. But Senna gets Rise through the smoke. That's an accurate spray that we were able to see, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Alpha 7. But Rise, this is exactly what I was saying. If they do not rotate properly, then they might just be between two teams that are to be called the mammoths in this region. But with that, Mufasa trying to cover himself up, he's definitely going to want to, either save or get few picks, but Carrillo is not going to allow that for now. Gary gets completely wiped from this particular equation. It's going to be all down to 7, and Mufasa, the angles that they're holding, not really good, but they will also want to get inside the zone because the zone is going to create a panic situation in just few moments from now.
Well, indeed, the zone is actually going to push forward a lot of players. But if I talk about Knife and Skull, Kazuto comes up with a beautiful takedown, and Smoke Esports is done. I believe the bye-bye guy is actually taking a leave from this particular lobby. Loops Esports on the other corner also gets compromised by Knife and Skull, definitely looking quite strong. But meanwhile, coming back to the consistent approach, Alpha 7 is there, INCO is going to be there. That's definitely a good thing. But EYC on the other corner is also serving. Rise Esports, a big match for their team as well. Let's see how far will they be able to push forward in the drain. And apart from that, Sena waiting on the opportunity. They have got the 3 amazing finishes. They have to survive a bit more. One more team, that Sci-Fi, is out of equation right now with 3 elimination hashtag 8. I believe that's just 1 point that they're actually going to get in terms of position. So a grand total of, I believe, 4 points is what Sci-Fi Esports is going to back out with their first match in the week number 3, day number 1. Meanwhile, Storms Pereira, some good shots indeed. The headshot was there, but not enough to put the guy down. Alpha 7 Esports still trying to find their way in the game. Rise Esports is 7 finds 1 from Team EYC Gaming. That's a beautiful knockout coming up. Indeed, if they are able to capsize on that knockout, it will be a very great one. It will be a very momentarily one. But on the other corner, let's see what happens. Alpha 7 Esports and EYC are pretty much close to the circle. They might be able to have the advantage of the particular circle, but it's a very open-ended circle. So definitely having the advantage, having the right ridge is going to be the main case. Kazuto comes up with a nade. Grelin gets taken down. It's a domination coming from Knife and Skull's Kazuto.
Well, Alpha 7 right now with 2 players surviving. Rise as well, if I'm not wrong, is going to survive with just 2. Knife and Skull trying to rotate inside the zone, but they will have to fight against EYC, which is exactly what they will want to do. But Storm is also going to be part of this fight. Alazin is going to patch himself up. Storm not gets picked from the sides of Sandra, but not that he will be able to capitalize entirely, as he was the final person surviving. But the zone has started to play its game. It's throwing the curveball right now. It's going to be quite not what those squads will want, because Storm was getting picked from the zone itself. Mufasa right now getting picked from Diego's side, and this, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to top 5 over here. 11 remaining. INCO Becker trying to get inside the zone. Carrillo definitely spots him, tries to connect the bullets, but was not able to initially. Ended up getting him knocked. Will want to confirm the finish, but I guess he will not be able to connect for a few more bullets, because the vehicle that he has used has a cover for himself, will be having him surviving for a bit more longer. But for INCO to survive the player that has been knocked, his teammate had to be a bit more closer, and he is definitely not available. On the other side, Alpha 7 is also wanting to rotate inside, which means he's going to just bleed to death. On the other side, we saw Flamingo getting eliminated, which brings us to just top 4 players, top 4 teams, and with no squad surviving all 4 men.
Well, indeed, Alpha 7 Esports looking quite strong. We have got EYC, which is actually on the back end area, not trying to actually show up their signs at this point, because they have to survive a bit more. And if we talk about Storm Gaming, they are the center of attraction for now. They have the manpower and everybody is pretty much focused on taking them down. If it is a possible sake, they would be able to take them down. But let's see what happens for now. It's INCO's Vitali GM, which has got the advantage of the circle. And apart from that, from Vitali's corner, Nenebete is also there. Definitely a strong team, definitely a strong duo indeed. They will be able to take down the Chicken Dinner or not, we'll get to know very soon. But Storm is having the 3-man advantage. That's the highest I believe any team is having.
Yeah.
Guys, if there is any issue regarding the casting, please make sure to actually tell us. Give us the feedback. We'll be able to recuperate on it. But oh, there is a shot. We'll talk about that aspect pretty soon. But before that, look at that. Storm Gaming manages to take out one more knockout out of the equation. That's done. Seems like that things are not looking that good for INCO's perspective. Well, there is a player from team EYC as well. That's going to be Diego. He's just trying to lurk in the shadow. There's a crate being opened here right here. So the advantage of the particular crate is going to be there. Some more space. Oh, Diego finds one. Stormils was able to actually take the trade of that particular guy. And with that, EYC is done. Alpha 7 is just waiting patiently on their own corner. Storm having the 10 amazing finishes is not at all looking bad at this point. Yes, Pereira is knocked out, but he can get the revival. 10 finishes at this point. Even if they are actually going to get finished off, they are going to have as many as 15 points in their favor, and that's amazing. But they have to watch out for the Chicken Dinner. They have to go for it. The approach is going to be pretty much like that. They have to bag out the winner in a Chicken Dinner, but it's scary low. And Cena with a 1v1 coming up. Indeed, some good shots are going to be there, but look at that, a beautiful knockout. It's Pereira who's going to take the trade. Pereira comes up with a beautiful knockout of Cena. Carrillo is actually going to repatch himself, but another beautiful spray. Carrillo with a beautiful takedown indeed. The game is done. What? The team which has had the highest amount of man advantage is now done. It's now finished off. INCO, a beautiful support indeed coming for Alpha 7.
Oh, this is not just over. The mammoths are still alive. It's going to be a 2v2. The revival has been done. The loots have been taken from the drop as well. It's going to be between INCO versus Alpha 7, a 2v2 battle. Ladies and gentlemen, one team with 6 finishes and 65.79 winner Chicken Dinner prediction, with Alpha 7 just having 47 right now with 5 finishes for themselves. It's going to be a battle between these two giants. Who's going to get whom is going to be a question that's going to be answered in a few minutes or probably a few seconds. The shots are definitely getting through the smoke, but none is being connected from the sides of INCO. Vitali trying to slightly, in a very cheeky way, get inside the zone, but will he be able to? Is he actually inside already? But if he's going to go a bit more further inside, probably he might be overcommitting and he might get just spotted, because Alpha 7 is ready for this battle. Both the teams knows where the other opponent team is. Who is going to make that, that push? Who's going to make that commitment? Who's going to make that commitment turn into something positive? A lot of questions, but a few more seconds for all of these to be answered.
Very soon we'll get to know. Indeed, we are actually going to get the advantage of this particular dual POV, because we'll get to see what happens between Alpha 7 Esports and INCO in a very clear perspective right now. Remember, this is the Pubg Mobile Pro Scrims. The Brazil action is on. This is Ruthless IP Esports bringing you guys a beautiful event with the prize pool of $300 in this week number 3. The total prize pool was of $900. That's a quick recap for you guys before the fight happens, I believe. But right now, I guess we can just wait and wait and wait. If the circle pushes forward, then only the teams are actually going to come up in a very closer or in an open area. And Alpha 7 Esports definitely seems like that they are actually going to have the higher advantage out of this. It's Carrillo, who was the MVP of the previous game. He's still bagging out some good points. It's a Groza in the enemy's hand. So definitely I'm a little bit skeptical at this point that if Alpha 7 Esports will be able to survive, because that's a Groza in the hand. Groza, oh, the spottation is done. Carrillo comes up with a good shot. A knockout is also there. Indeed, nothing will happen when the Groza is in the hand. It's done. Vitali is going to be the last one standing. It seems like that he has to do a 1v2. He's going to go out of the zone. Oh, seems like that the heal battle is going to be the main maker. What can he do at this point, man? That's all. It's done. INCO Gaming wanted to create that buffer, did not want to actually give that kind of point in the hands of Alpha 7 Esports. But it's done, man. Alpha 7 Esports back to back with 2 good Chicken Dinners. For a moment after the second zone, when I saw 2 good members from Alpha 7 Esports getting finished off, like Melfozo and the other guy, I thought that Alpha 7 Esports is done. They might not be able to secure some good points in this particular matchup. And it's definitely going to be there. An open-ended area would be there where other teams from other groups can actually capsize on them. But that's not the case. In the previous one, a 27-pointer game. In this one, a 17 or 16-pointer game. Oh, that's it. 16-pointer of a game coming up in this particular matchup. That shows they are credible. They are indeed quite aggressive. In just 2 matches, I believe pretty much close to a situation where they are actually close to 39 or 40 points or 41 points, I believe, in their favor. That's good enough. Looking forward to see what happens in the next stages as well. what kind of impact these guys will be able to bring to the table. Let's talk about the winner chicken dinner team. The individual statistics are telling us that Alpha 7 Esports' Carillo is the guy which was able to have the highest amount of damage and the eliminations as well for the team. Along with the assists, he did the 66.67% of the job for the team. Sena on the other corner, Alpha 7 Esports' Sena on the other corner was able to get the 2 eliminations, and 371 of a damage was there with 2 assists as well.
Carillo back-to-back an MVP. That's something which is definitely exciting me right now. Oh, Alpha 7 Esports playing their own game in this entire week 3 for now. Back-to-back chicken dinners, back-to-back aggressions. Some point they lost 2 players in the final battle that there was, but they managed to get that chicken dinner, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, Alpha freaking 7 Esports for you. Oh, not much to say. I don't really have much to say. Raider, you must continue from here because I don't know what else I should be saying for the aggression that they had.
I mean, I guess the aggression was not there in the initial stages, but eventually when the zone was in their favor, when they were surviving, I believe, Carillo and Alpha 7 Esports, Esports' Sena, I believe, that was the second guy who was surviving from Alpha 7 Esports. They did the job quite fluently and was able to back out the chicken dinner. But meanwhile, let's talk about the teams to watch first of all. Alpha 7 Esports with 11,624 meters of a rotation was there from their corner. Coming back to the stages, like 9 nades, 16 smokes, and 1 airdrop advantage was also there in the hands of Alpha 7 Esports. Meanwhile, if I talk about Storm Gaming, what they had was an 11,000 meters of a rotation, 10 nades, 18 smokes, 0 airdrop advantage in their favor. And if I talk about situations where INCO Gaming was surviving, 8.5 kilometers of a rotations, and then 3 nades, 13 smokes, and 2... Oh, airdrop advantage was also there. 2 airdrops were looted from their corner. That was good enough, and that is definitely the reason why they were able to secure their second position. But now MVP is going to be somebody else. It's going to be Storm Esports, Storm Gaming's Ellison, I believe. This is the guy who is going to become the MVP. 5 eliminations, close to 1100 damage of a perspective in this corner. Throwables used was 6, 1 assist, and that's definitely the thing which is going to make him the MVP. But would love to add on, Storm Gaming was unable to survive a bit more. If they would have been actually doing their job quite peacefully, things would have been a little bit more favorable for the team. Coming back to the charts of eliminations and damage, you can see that it's Storm Gaming which was able to get the only double-digit frag out in their favor, and the damage was of 2261.
Well, Storm Gaming, like the name, like the performance, they definitely stormed the entire lobby with those amazing damages that they turned out to be. See, I definitely like a lot of finishes that one team would have, but what actually fascinates me is the amount of damage that a particular team together churns out against the entire lobby that there is. Because if you're able to spot so many players and, you know, put that damage on them, it is basically putting the pressure on them. They then will have to, you know, re-strategize. But we'll talk about all that before, after we talk about match ranking of match number 2, Miramar. Alpha 7, ladies and gentlemen, back-to-back chicken dinners, 16 points from this particular game. Storm with 15 and INCO with 12. Really happy these 3 teams are going to be for them. For themselves, but we are going to have Rise Esports at #4 with 9 points in total, and EYC with 7. Corinthians not so far behind at 6th position with 5, and then we have Flamingo as well with 5 points. But the worry is for the teams which are on the below table, and what I'm able to see is Influence CHEMIN. I spoke about this, Raider. They really have good games,
yeah,
or they don't really have good games. There's nothing in between that I've seen by far. And I really want them to prove me wrong.
Okay, I guess that's a situation where they either do it or they get just disturbed or devastated, I believe, in the game. So that's definitely something we have to watch out for. But coming up in the match summary, look at that. Ellison coming from Team Storm Gaming is everywhere, but just one place was there from other guy, I believe, from the same team. But if we talk about situations like match stats, 55 total eliminations, 7-9-7-7 is going to be total healing. 61 total knockouts, 202 throwables were used, 3 airdrops were looted, 10 headshots, 16 rescues, and the guy who was able to get the longest elimination in the map of Miramar, pretty much slower on the other corner, but then it was from XTEAM, that's Renan, who was able to secure this kind of particular damage in his favor. Now coming back to the overall statistics, let's talk about the overall ranking. Alpha 7 Esports having 43 amazing points, Two good chicken dinners, 20 for the placement, 23 for the eliminations. This shows Alpha 7 is looking so strong. They are building their charm, they're building their fights, and that's a great introduction of the squad that we were missing in the first 2 weeks. Storm Gaming on the other corner, after playing just one match, 15 points in their favor. That's good enough. INCO Gaming, after playing 2 matches, 13 points is what they have. Knife and Skull, 2 matches and 12 points. Hashtag 4 is a position. Hashtag 5, Black Dragons with only 11. Hashtag 6, Influence Gaming with 11. Hashtag 7, Rise Esports with only 11 points. Loops Esports, hashtag 8, 9 points. Coming back to the second page, we'll get to see hashtag 9 to 16 type of teams coming in. If we talk about the last page of this particular overall ranking, I guess we might see
We will get to
Influence
that
Gaming.
later, actually. Or actually, we have it here.
We already have got it, yeah. UIC Gaming,
Yeah.
starting it off, 8 points. Mandrakes with 8.
And then we have Corinthians with 6, Flamingo with 5, Smoke with 5, Sci-Fi with 4, Brazilian Killers with 4, and Team Predators with 4. See, I wanted to get to this a bit later because what I was able to see is that no team in the first page has been able to match what Alpha 7 has got for themselves in these 2 matches. No team is even close to them. It's more than double that they have able to score. Alpha 7 is definitely creating that one-sided game that I was actually expecting from a squad from week 1, since week 1. But in the week 3, I'm able to see that. But the trouble begins here on the page 3. XTEAM with just 4 points, Honored Souls with 3, GZM with a single point, and Zebra Masters got really eliminated really soon with no points at all in the first game. They have 2 more games, if I'm not wrong, for themselves, and we will want to see on the kind of action that they will want to bring. And I'm definitely expecting more from Honored Souls because I have seen them perform in week number 1. There was a lot of ups and downs, but I'm sure they're going to bounce back.
Looking forward to see what happens from ZZM's corner and Zebra Master. Definitely those teams are at the bottom for now, at hashtag 19 and 20 respectively, I believe. But I believe they will be able to come up with some good shots. But from the back end, the producer has called for the no breaks situations. So we are going to come up with the third match pretty soon. The map schedule will come in. We'll get to know which is the map we are going to talk about. But eventually, yes, the map of Miramar was quite good. Alpha 7 Esports all of a sudden bags out a beautiful match in their favor indeed. A 16-pointer game from their corner. In the previous one, a 27-pointer. Give us your prediction, guys. All of you guys who are actually on the chat, 500, 600 people who are watching us for now. Give us a prediction. What will happen in the map of ERANGEL? Is it going to be a similar situation? If Alpha 7 Esports will be available in the game, due to the group shuffles, they might not be in the game. But if they are actually going to be there, what do you think? Are they going to come up with the third one or the hat trick, which we call it out? So do you think, guys, that the third match is also going to be in the hands of Alpha 7 Esports, or predict just which is the team that is going to back out the chicken dinner? That's for you guys who are in the chat.
You know what? I'm actually going to take my phone right here and I'm going to see on what the audience are going to say. So is it, guys? Yes, I'll be able to see it anyway, which because I have it open in my hand. Raider is asking you all. Let me take this really slow. Alpha 7, if they are playing the next game or whichever game that they're going to play, are they going to get that hat trick or not? If it is a yes, you go with YES, or if it is a no, you go with no. But with that being said, today's matches, 2 has been done. Alpha 7 has backed both for themselves. 17 eliminations is first one with 10 placement points. That's what you get to finish this with a chicken dinner. And then in the map of Miramar as well, they proved themselves again with 6 eliminations. Probably a lot of concentrations on rotations than the fight itself. And they also get that first position point again. 43 points from the 2 games that has been played in week number 3 and day number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Alpha 7 Esports, but we still have 2 more games here. It's going to be ERANGEL again and then Miramar. ERANGEL being the classic map, I'm definitely going to see a lot more action than what we have seen in the first one. But Raider, what's your take on it?
Well, first of all, I have to see the flight path coming in and eventually then the circle. I won't be able to predict before that because I have done that and eventually failed miserably. So let's see where the flight path is going to be there and what kind of impact the play zone is going to make. To be honest, I would love to see a southern shift. Yeah.
You know what? Because you told you failed miserably, I would definitely want to have some fun here.
Okay.
Tell me where this zone is going to be made, or let's predict the flight.
I've already said that I'm not going to predict.
No, you have to do it. Come on, it's going to be fun. Okay, let's go with at least where the flight trajectory is. Anything. You just have 20 seconds.
The diagonal one, I believe. I will go for diagonal one, like stretching it
Okay.
out from Prismog to Salber, or maybe from Jarki to Novoripnoi. That's what I'm going to go for.
Okay. And the zone?
Zone
Quick.
should be a southern one.
Okay, if that's going to be the case, ladies and gentlemen, you will have to definitely spam hashtag Raider for the win. But with that being said, Flight C-130 takes its path and it's going to start from all the way from Milta Power. Let's see where it's going. It's going to be, it is diagonal, but just not right in the center. I guess I will give this to Raider. But with that being said, from Milta Power all the way to Primorsk, sorry, my bad there. Going through the water bodies is going to be really difficult for the teams who want to go all the way to George areas, areas of Rozak and the areas of Yashnaya, but not to worry much because there is plenty of vehicles that there is going to be. What you really have to worry about is if the IGL of the opponent team is trying to pick the same exact vehicle from the same exact location that you decided while you were in this particular flight. A lot of teams have already taken the exit from C-130. Let's see where the action begins at.
Looking forward to see what happens for now. And yes, a lot of teams are jumping in their favorable vicinities. And yes, Alpha 7 Esports is also there in the game. Most eliminations is going to be favored by Mafloso. In the first match, he was able to bag out those 8 finishes. In the second one, he was eliminated pretty much in the earlier stages. But when it comes to the most knockouts, it's going to be Kerelo who is going to get the advantage of it. From Storm Gaming, I guess Elinzen is actually going to be there on the second chart with the 5 finishes, 5 knockouts, I believe. From Team Black Dragons, that's Killerzada, who has got 3 eliminations, 3 knockouts as well. Alpha 7 Esports is jumping towards like Lipovka region. That's good enough. Oh, the circle. Look at that. It's an interesting one. It's completely northeastern one. You don't have to spam my name right now. And apart from that, if we talk about areas like XTEAM, they're in the Novoripno region. Looking forward to see what happens.
Well, what we are able to see as a spam right now is that teams, I mean, our audience are definitely expecting a hat trick coming from Alpha 7. And
Ooh.
with that being said, Sinha has already spotted GZM in the mid-air and he actually picked him up. What?
Is that a knockout?
Yeah, but no, that was not in the air. Okay, we see Proji actually on the ground. Hey, I would have left. There's this one thing. Okay, there comes some buff there. I'm sure Mafioso is trying to save some bullets, and with that, first blood, Alpha 7. I mean, let's not talk about it. We'll talk about the game. Senna looting.
That is what the game is all about, man. It's survival of the fittest. So
Yes.
Alpha 7 is looking like
Agreed.
they are the fittest one at this point after dropping in the circle. And meanwhile, if we talk about ZZM, after having that initial loss, just like the previous matchup in the map of ERANGEL, they're again suffering with an early casualty. Proji is the same guy, I believe, that went out early as well. Or was it Frog? I don't remember.
It was Proji. It was Proji. Yeah, it is Proji.
Okay.
Yeah, it is Proji, right? Yeah, it is Proji. We are able to see that. But sorry, I'm going to steal some more time from you, Raider. What I'm able to see is, audience, guys who are watching us, I'm able to see 240 likes right now. And I'm able to see about 400 people watching. That ratio is not matching, and I'm not able to digest the fact that Alpha 7 performing so well is not able to see the support from their fans. Like the stream, share it with the Alpha 7 squad, the fan squad that there is, and have them all coming over here and watch on what they are creating. They are creating in havoc, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see more people coming in and more likes that there could be done. Hit that like button. I don't know how you do that. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know how you do that, but the button should change gray and the other one should change white. With that being said, Raider, over to you. Continue with what is going inside the match.
For now, Rise Esports is trying to get up a rotation, but there is a team, Zebra Master, pretty much close to them with the Micro Uzi. That's not a good gun to actually take up a fight with, or a squad clutcher, I believe. But Flamingo on the other corner, coming up in the Milta vicinity, what they have got is GC gods and guys like that. But that's a slam. That's a deadly fatal slam coming up. I believe now the guy coming from Team Zebra Master is actually going to have a shivers down his spine. I really doubt that he's going to survive for now, but he's just waiting. He's just waiting. He's patient. He's patient enough.
He's not moving. Oh, no.
Now he does. Now his position is revealed. A trifactor push is going to be there, and that's it. And now good comes in from Seven's corner. Not just a knockout, a finish as well with a shotgun, I believe. And just like that, it's done. And dusted. Rise Esports again having the first ever casualty. I mean, their first ever casualty, I believe. that is there
No,
in this
I
particular game.
Alpha 7 got the first casualty
That's what I
against
said. No,
DTM.
their first ever casualty. I'm talking about
Yeah, first,
Rise's. Yeah.
right. Yes. Okay, done. Okay.
So that's the kind of game I guess we are expecting from Rise Esports from the start. They're actually going to go aggressive. Even Alpha 7 Esports went out quite aggressive, no doubt in that. They're pretty much close to having the 50-pointer marker in the favor, the half century, I guess. But Zebra Master, the rest remaining players are pretty much close to the Water City region. They're trying to loot it up, and then eventually having the advantage is going to be the case.
A lot of action starting from the beginning. Water City, one of my favorite places, because if you have to loot, you have to be the monkey man to jump from one compound to the other, or else you're going to slow down your speed. But looks like EYC Gaming gets spotted from Smoke Neto. He should have shot some bullets. Is he going to? That's a question. Not for now. He's holding his grounds. He's not wanting to overcome it. He's not sure if there are more players from the side of EYC. But look at how Matthews is also actually holding the position. This particular player, ladies and gentlemen, has been surrounded. The survival looks quite difficult. And with that being said, there comes the knock and an immediate finish. I want to see what happens on the other side. Well, there's another knock as well. EYC not really looking good right now.
Indeed, they are not, but let's see how far they will be able to bag out those finishes in their favor. But right now, they two good members, I believe, have been compromised. The third one is already knocked out. The last one is actually pretty much there on the back end. Let's see what happens from their particular perspective as well. Trying to actually deliver the job is not the case for Adrian and Diego. They have to be a little bit on the far side. But what happened? Adrian, why did he slam? And that's done. Adrian also getting compromised, and now Diego becomes the last man standing, trying to run for his life and eventually securing some good points. That is going to be the case. But man, I'm still shattered to see EYC, a team which was so fruitful in the week number 1 and week number 2, is just getting shattered back and forth in this week.
Well, probably they are trying to figure out things themselves. They're trying to make a few better strategies. Not really working for now, but I'm sure they'll bounce back. The week is still young. This has been 2 matches by far. This is the third one, and I'm sure Diego is going to try to survive as much as possible. But Adrian, I was not expecting that, because 2 players got knocked while they were trying to cross the bridge. Probably he could have held his ground there for some time. Probably he could have tried something else, but he did commit to rotate from the same side, and that didn't really work out well. But Diego gets spotted. The damage has been done. Probably his vehicle has got 1 punctured tire. Now that's 2 now. But on the other side, we see Flamingo getting into action against Storm. Elysian gets picked up, and that's the first finish for Team Flamingo there.
Well, indeed, the finishes are coming up, no doubt on that. But right now, the last one standing, Diego was able to bag out one, but the vehicle clashed on Souls Nino. Just like that, it's done for EYC Gaming. They are now shattered at #16. Not even a single point in the favor, not just a single point from the perspective of those finishes or the position points as well. That's a sad sight to watch. But Flamingo Esports, let's see what they can bring to the table for now. Yes, there is a Fox, there is a guy who was able to bag out the first finish for the team. But apart from that, looking forward to see how far they will be able to go in terms of the larger game. Influence Gaming outside the particular play zone. Smoke is also pretty much outside the particular play zone. Now they're actually going to have a lot of suffering to go with, because the zone damage is going to be there. Maybe they are going to get KK'd as well. 15 teams, 56 players. That's what we have in the game. Alpha 7 is still looking a little bit more on the calmer side. Storm, after losing 1 good player, is not looking that good. GZM also is trying to just be as far as away as possible, but trying to be a little bit more closer to areas like Salber. So that could be a good place to hold on.
Well, that could be, if they choose to be holding. But GZM, they definitely are having a good game in this one, because the first game didn't really go well for them. This time they got an independent drop location. Team Predators are not playing this one, but the initial the vehicle that they were trying to get definitely had them fly right on the top of Alpha 7, and Alpha 7 didn't show any mercy. Picked 1 player off, and it's going to be just be 3 more. The zone again shifting towards the Ashnaya regions. Alpha 7 knows what exactly they will have to do, but we will have to see if or if the same strategy is going to work again, because now the teams are ready. Now the teams know what is to come from this week, from all the performance that we have seen from all the teams. But for now, we are able to see sold Honored Souls. They are holding a good compound in the zone. They don't really have to worry much, because if there is any rotations, they'll be easily be able to take them down. And if there is a slam, they definitely will have the angles checked, because they are the first ones to hold this particular compounds, at least to this particular match. But the split that I was able to see is definitely probably not going to look good for them. But let's talk about Rise. Rise is also holding a good ground right now, a good compound. But probably they might want to rotate a bit more further inside, because the zone is going to shift yet again towards the northeastern sides.
That could be the case. The shift of the zone is something I'm actually worried about as well. But XTEAM, well, they've got the center kind of POI where the Asuna, Poliana, and areas like Shelter actually coincides. Prison is also pretty much close to them. Loops Esports is the one team which is facing a lot of wrath from the coming team known as XTEAM. Those shots were not able to connect. To be honest. Yeah, that's the right thing, I believe. Katsu waiting in the shack. He's still trying to find out those angles from which he can take them the shots. Although he's just trying his level best to just neglect the fact that the teams might push onto him. If the push is going to be there, that could be detrimental. So yes, they are just waiting. They're just trying to hold on the Brits. Meanwhile, Sci-Fi Esports is also pretty much close. So there could be a fight between these two giants as well. Sci-Fi Esports and XTEAM. Oh, Honor Soul is also there. So they are actually in a fight. Looking forward to see what happens. This is the region of Shelter where the fights are actually coming in soon. There could be a clash coming in, but they're just trying to eliminate as many as possibilities are there for the rotations, for those angles from which these things can actually be fruitful. Everybody is having a gun like DBS right now. Every squad is having a player which has got the DBS so that they can initiate that attack, and that seems quite lovely. But look at that, Loops Isla, a beautiful headshot, but now the guy is actually going to completely fall back. But where is he going to go? Because from the back end, it is going to be XTEAM. That's it. Loops Isla finds a beautiful finish. I guess that was a knockout for Mythic, but eventually Isla finishes the job.
Well, he started it, and he was determined to finish. Whether or not he gets that finish for himself, the team has got, and I'm sure he's going to be happy. But on the other side, Smoke Matthews, 2 finishes. He was really confident, but didn't really work out well for him in this one. He gets off the lobby, but his team is still surviving. I'm sure he's going to guide. But look at Loops. They want the aggression. They want to capitalize on this. They go in. They use that S12K. They get them down. But Loops Mythic overcommits a bit. The cover comes from the sides of Smoke. Netos probably might not be able to get a revival. But for now, this fight is still going to be heated up. Not in one-sided one. Smoke trying to bounce back, trying to create the angles. If they do that quickly, I'm sure they'll be able to survive for more longer than what I'm expecting right now, because Loops is having a better position as of now. But with that rotation that has come from this particular player, Kuno, I'm sure he's having a plan. He's definitely looking like having a plan to attack from a side. Or probably he's just going for the zone. I don't know. I mean, probably they're actually rotating. Oh my god, yes, they are rotating. There's no signs of revival. Smoke loses another player. It's
a big loss indeed.
2 more.
Yeah,
just 2 more.
I mean, indeed,
Loops
the players have...
good.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm just saying the loops are looking good. Mythic is going to be really very happy.
The shots from Brazilian killers indeed was able to find a headshot, was not able to take the guy down. If that would have been a knockout, it would have been a glorious one, because the tracing power of these guys are absolutely phenomenal. But 15 teams, 54 players, that's what we have right now. Brazilian killers, that's the guy we were actually talking about in the previous matchup in the first one. So looking forward to see what he will be able to bring to the table. And zone is pretty much looking like a similar one, like what happened in the previous zone as well. Storm Alenzin on the other corner gets one. Rise Mufasa finds one from Team Sci-Fi as well. Influence Gaming is also falling down. Kawaiski gets taken down. Brazilian killers Hideki was able to take down Mandrakees. So that's again a big loss coming up in the lobby. But the master building, the mother building of the Asna is pretty much unoccupied right now. There is a team which is going to conquer it. I would love to see where other teams like Influence Gaming are actually surviving, because they are on the ridge. But the other players, okay, they are also there, pretty much close to them. Alpha 7's Mafiso finally finds a knockout on Flamingo's Gigante.
Alpha 7, they are not going to lose a single opportunity to capitalize on those finishes. That's what they have been doing from the past 2 matches. This is the third one. They're looking for a hat trick. But on the other side, Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi not really looking good, and an individual player surviving for now. Brazilian killers trying to rotate inside the zone, and while the rotation is happening, gets caught off and lose one player. XTEAM on the ridges against Flamingo. Flamingo currently capitalizing this. It's a 3 versus 2 situation. Renan is surviving with a really low HP there. Gets picked up. But on the trade, Flamingo is also having a couple of knocks. Probably they will want to revive the player. But Alpha 7 Mafizo has an eye on GZ God and gets him out of the equation. Flamingo capitalized one fight, capitalized one battle, but the next one that came in immediately, probably they were not prepared.
Being prepared about those sudden damages is not the case, I believe, and it's a little bit on the risky side if you want to actually be having a meta of the by the book type of rotation in your favor. You can't actually perform the way you want to. You have to shift around with the play zone. You have to shift around with the enemy as well. You have to evolve a bit. And those split-second decisions are something which is going to take a lot of change. They're going to take a lot of confidence out of the fight. And look at that. MANDRAKES Esports is the one team which is going to have the advantage of the center POI. And then if I talk about Alpha 7 Esports, Rivotop, he's trying to rotate. Carrillo is actually in the vehicle. Afiso is actually going to be in the vehicle. 7 is actually pretty much ready with the vehicles as well. They're trying to rotate and going to go for the northern western areas, and that is actually going to help them a lot in terms of their survival because there is a ridge over there. But Rise Esports seems to like actually contest from that particular area. If that is actually going to happen, so Alpha 7 Esports might not survive in this particular game that much easily. But yes, in the Yasnaya Poland region, there are a lot of teams which were actually having the predictions that the zone might be there. But no, that's not the case. The zone is going to be in the open-ended areas. Yasnaya is the magnet for the first 3 zones. But after that, when the sudden shift comes in, the zone goes completely in an open area. And that is the thing players have to read. 90% of the things, 90% of the times this happens. But eventually, yes, there are some exceptions where the zone might actually reach out to the Yasnaya compounds. But that is not going to happen in this one. It is pretty much outside on the northern western corner. And Loopsile on the other corner comes up with a good shot. It's Mythic once again who's going to pack out the knockouts. Mythic is actually doing a 1v3 to be honest. So yeah, that's amazing. The third finish for Mythic. Definitely the plaque of domination is going to be there very soon.
Loops, they're definitely playing the game of their... I mean, they're going to play the best game here. I'm able to see that happening already. But there is a chaos that is going to be in the southern sides because a lot of teams are holding Yasnaya, thinking about the zone to be shifting towards the same. But the zone actually throws a curveball, goes towards the northern side, and that creates a lot of havoc. And in this havoc, we're able to see Smoke Esports getting eliminated. GZM, who were already inside the zone, not able to capitalize the position that they had. One player gets off. There's one more in the name of Prog holding Frog or Prog. I'm not okay. It's Prog holding that compound. He is definitely going to get attacked from a lot of utilities, but looks like he has actually went behind the compound, trying to survive as much as possible. Gets a knock. That's a beautiful one. But Loops on the other side, Sheaf definitely got Bro, and Ayala gets a Mythic. And that, ladies and gentlemen, it's a chaos between the team players itself. Loops, which was looking really confident, now gets attacked first from the sides of GZM. Now Rise hovering on their bad situation. I mean, Rise is over here to capitalize probably.
It's a tough battle indeed. Souls Rafina on the other corner finds one from Team Black Dragons. That's going to be a beautiful knockout coming up. But Zebra Masters, one more player gets compromised by Influence Gaming. That's Federal for you guys. News is actually going to come up with some good knockouts as well. But Rise Esports and I believe Souls, Honored Souls to be precise, is not going to stop. Black Dragons gets eliminated at #11. Another beautiful slam in on Loops Esports. Not looking that good. Oh, the slam was there, but indeed the sprays are actually working out quite well. But there is a backup. Rise Esports is not going to be there without a backup, and look at that, 10 amazing eliminations. They are in fact dominating at this point in the lobby, and it seems like that Alpha 7 is actually going to run for the money for now, because the kind of competition Rise Esports is coming up in the lobby is looking quite well, looking quite good. But Alpha 7 Esports is having the zone advantage as well. They are actually there with the 4-man power, seems like that, but they can also come back, answer quite good with some good finishes. So looking forward to see what kind of change that will actually bring to the table. But the next zone is going to get shrunken down. Before that, Influence Gaming's Law is going to be on the question. A beautiful spray indeed coming in. UMP45 versus UMP45. Storm Spirit is not going to survive in this particular fight. The other guy coming from Team Storm is also going to be there. Honored Souls also gets eliminated at the same moment, and with that I believe another elimination is going to follow up of Team Storm Gaming.
Tom Gaming also gets picked up, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to have us left with just 7 teams and 19 players. We are having Alpha 7 surviving really well in the northern side. We have Mandrakes holding the only compound inside the zone. Influence Coming gets thrown outside the zone, can easily make an entry inside. But what is going to be a situation of worry is for the teams which are in the southern side. We're able to see Zebra Masters and GZM surviving with just 1 player each, and Rise Esports is on their vehicles the entire time, which means Rise Esports has not been able to make a decision on where exactly they want to hold. But for now, I believe they have a position outside the zone, quite near to it, rotating slowly inside. But right now, what I'm able to see is Alpha 7 might have a good angle, but for now they will have to go all out against Influence CHEMIN, but because they are on their vehicles, and this aggression of Influence CHEMIN, if they capitalize this, I'm sure the heat that they have after this particular battle is definitely going to lead them to have a chicken dinner as well.
That could be the case. The momentum that they're going to get from this particular matchup is actually going to be very important. And there we go. The third finish is on the way. It seems like that it is going to be there. And exactly there is the kind of situation that we were talking about. But eventually, Fiso also gets damaged quite a bit. Oh, the HP, last moment shots. Those are absolutely amazing. Zebra Master is trying his level best to actually fall back from the situation. But it seems like that they're going to retaliate. GZM Esports on the other corner gets finished off as well. Looking forward to see what happens, because there are 3 teams with the highest manpower. That is going to be the full manpower, I believe. It is Rise Esports also there with the 4 manpower. I'm a little bit skeptical at Alpha 7 standing right now. They might not be able to get this chicken dinner, because look at Rise Esports. The momentum that they have in this match is definitely looking strong, but we can't neglect the fact that Alpha 7 Esports is having the momentum in a larger picture. They were able to back out the last 2 with chicken dinners, and right now they are looking forward to be in the top 3 teams as well. So it seems like that things can change rapidly. But Influence Gaming and Zebra Master, they are in a fight. I really doubt that Zebra Master is going to survive, but he can actually impact and get a lot of knockouts as well, if that's possible. If the needs are there, the splash damage are coming in, but not enough to put one down. But on the other corner, look at that, a beautiful trade-off indeed. And with that, Zebra Master also gets compromised, and now we have got only 4 teams and 15 players surviving in the game.
Influence CHEMIN getting attacked again by Alpha 7. The fight was actually on the upper side of the mountain. Now it is brought back to the downside because of the zone. But Rise Esports now knows where Alpha 7 is. A player gets picked up. A 2-2 split coming from Alpha 7. Will this actually be fruitful for them? Because look at Rise Noons. He's already having a position of, the best that there could be. And Rise has already went inside. It's going to be a 2v3. Senna trying to get few, bullets connected through the smoke, spots one, tries to take one down, but 7 doesn't allow it. Alpha 7, 2 players off. There's 2 more players surviving. That's actually taking a fight against Influence CHEMIN. We know what two players from Alpha 7 can actually do, but can they actually, deal with the sandwich situation? Because there's a lot of needs action coming in from Influence CHEMIN and a lot of gun action coming in from the sides of Rise. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of Alpha 7 at #4. Hat-trick not being able to capitalized, but the fight is still on, and we will have to talk about Mandrakes going against Rise.
It's done, man. Alpha 7 Esports definitely tried their level best to survive, but eventually they were caught off guard, and eventually the thing that they used to do on the other teams, like performing a circle and actually making a flank onto them and eventually surviving and then taking them down bit by bit, that's exactly what Rise Esports and Influence Gaming did to Alpha 7 Esports. Tasting their own, I guess, action was the thing that Alpha 7 Esports was able to secure. But right now, Dark Mandrakes Esports' Dark Jose gets taken down. A beautiful trade-off indeed. The 16th finish is about to come in for Team Rise Esports. Gary X is also going to get the revival. Look at the jump that Rise Esports is going to have. Now, exactly this is the match where Alpha 7 is going to have the run for their money, run for their positioning, run for their points. I mean, I'm just so high on the adrenaline that these guys are actually trying to give at this point in the game. Well, if we talk about the manpower, that is definitely with the hands of Rise Esports. Godzin on the other corner is going to be the last man standing of Team Mandrakes Esports. Influence CHEMIN's Law and Federal are there. Definitely they were able to put up a show right now. But look at that, what is happening with the buggy? They're just trying to scout. They're trying to actually scavenge whatever is there in the lobby left to survive with. But it seems like that Rise Esports might be overcommitting at this point, because if Crossfire is going to be set up on Rise Esports' player, they might not be able to survive the clash.
it's all down to Rise having 16 finishes, and I'm able to see that they might get 3 more if they're going to be the squad that's going to attack both Influence and Mandrakes. Mandrakes definitely had that man advantage, but right now it's just going to be all down to Godzine, and again against this entire lobby of 6 more players surviving. But Influence Gaming Law gets picked up, and Mufasa in trade gets picked up from Federal. There's a lot of trades that's going on, but Rise Esports has the man advantage and they are going to use it to the fullest. A need getting cooked. Will Federal be able to do a 1v4? But if he does that, it's going to be big, but not going to be easy. There's a march from 7th side. Mufasa gets Law, and Noons from the other side gets Federal with that head connect, and Rise Esports marching for that chicken dinner. Mandrake's position being compromised. 7 is on his vehicles. Noons is already on quite close. He's trying to pull that nade, that trigger. Will he be able to get that finish? No, because it's going to be 7 with that UMP45 converting this match in a winner-winner chicken dinner. 17 finishes, and ladies and gentlemen, that's Rise Esports on a roll. I mean, well, literally on a roll.
We thought that it's not possible to come up with a game larger than Alpha 7 Esports' meta. But no, that's not the case. It is actually there, possible. And another Brazilian giant, the name is Rise Esports. Yeah, indeed, that is the name. Rise Esports is the one which was able to back out this beautiful winner chicken dinner. No doubt in that. A lot of bumps, a lot of takedowns that were there possible from the corner, be it teams like Luke's Esports or Influence Gaming or even the team known as Alpha 7. Everybody got tagged from this particular team, and look at the kind of damage that they were able to dish on this particular game. Definitely the hopes are going to go down for Alpha 7 Esports. I really hope in the next match Alpha 7 Esports will be able to be a little bit more on the aggressive notch. No doubt in this match as well, they were also able to secure the 4 position points and the set number of finishes that they were able to have. So yes, pretty much close to the 50 pointer right now, but not able to fetch it out. But if we talk about Rise Esports, I would have to see where they are at this point in the standings. If the jump would have been decent enough, they could have actually come to the 2nd position. And if that is the case, I really hope that the competition will evolve a bit more in the next match, because just one more match for the day right now. Remember guys, once again we are going to emphasize on the POI that one more match for today. Teams to watch is going to be the statistics that we are going to watch for now. Before that, let's talk about the team which has secured the winner in the chicken. It's a 29-pointer game coming from the corner. 3,000 plus of a damage from Team Rise Esports. What a match indeed. #2 is the position that's definitely in their favor.
I will want to see the total points that Rise Esports is having right now. Alpha 7 is, if I'm not wrong, Alpha 7 is done for the day, where Rise is having one more match for themselves. If they're going to continue this aggression, this momentum, and carry it for the Miramar match that there is pending from day number 1 of week number 3, I'm sure Rise Esports is going to dethrone Alpha 7. But it all will come down to when we actually see the overall standing. But for now, we have the ranking, the standing of individual players from Rise Esports is going to be 7 with 5 animation, Noons with 5, and then you also saw the 2 more. But it's going to be MVP. 7 is going to be the MVP with 5 finishes, 11, 28 damage, and 11 throwables being used, and 7 assistance that this player, this lad, has been able to give for his team. That's a lot of assistance, I must say.
Oh, 7 assists definitely is the number that we were actually we were waiting for, I believe. Yes, indeed. If I talk about the damage as well, that's decent. This was the most valuable player. Moving up ahead, I guess we'll talk about more and more details about the teams, more and more details about the players as well. But remember guys, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel that you are witnessing the scrims on. But right now, if we talk about the match ranking, it is Rise Esports indeed, 29 points of a game, Influence Gaming 12 points, Mandrakes with 9, Alpha 7 Esports with just 7 points in this game. Honored Souls, I believe, is going to have 6 points, Flamingo Esports 5 points, Loops Esports 4, Zebra Master with 4, Smoke Esports with 3 points, Black Dragons with 3, Brazilian Chris with 3 points as well, Cheeserum Esports with 3, Storm Gaming with just 2 points, XTEAM 1 point, and 2 teams which were unable to be fruitful were EYC Gaming and Sci-Fi Esports. That's it for them for now. And remember guys, Alpha 7 Esports were having 43 points, I believe, in the previous leaderboard, and right now with 7 points, that's definitely going to make that 50-pointer bomber, I believe. So that's good enough. But Rise Esports is, the match summary is actually going to be there, in which there are a lot of advantage for Rise Esports. For example, the highest elimination is there with 7, highest damage is there with 7, highest assist is also there with 7, but the highest knockout is going to be there with Mufasa. That's 5. Highest hitting done is going to be from Influence Gaming's Law.
And that's about the match summary. But 7 has been highlighted quite well. 5 eliminations, that being the top, and the damage that he's been able to give. But match statistics, ladies and gentlemen, for match number 3 of week number 3 and day number 1 is going to be in such a way where we are going to have 59 total eliminations, 49, 92 total healings, 56 total knocks, 164 throwables used, no airdrops looted. There was no commitment towards the airdrop loot that there had come. 6 headshots, 375 longest elimination distance that we are able to see. Back from Influence, CHEMIN, Federal from this match, and total of 12 rescues. Not much of an opportunity to revive the teammate. But with that, Alpha 7 with 3 matches, 2 winner chicken dinners, 50 points in total with them. Still a good gap that I'm able to see. And then we have Rise Esports. I thought they only had 2 matches and they had 1 more, but no, that's not the case. They have 3 matches played, just as equal to Alpha 7. Has got 1 chicken dinner with 40 points. They are also now dominating, but there's a huge gap, after which Influence came in. 23 points, had a bad game in Miramar, was able to bounce back for the game of ERANGEL, match number 3. 23 points, Mandrakes with 17, Storm with 17, Black Dragons with 14, ENCO Gaming with 13, and Loops with 13. So there's not much of a gap between 4 to 8. Anything can happen between the teams that there are over here, with 3 teams having only 2 games played by far, which means we're going to see a lot of shuffle in the first page itself. Coming to the second page, Knife and Skull, starting with this page at hashtag 9 with total of 12 points. Flamingo with 10, Honored Souls with 9, EYC Gaming with 8, Smoke Esports with 8, Brazilian Killers with 7, Corinthians with 6, and XTEAM with 5. So now that is going to be page number 2 of the overall standing. Do you have anything to tell over here, Raider?
Let's talk about the last few 4 teams. I believe what they are actually trying to bring to the table is going to be the main question. Zebra Master, they were lurking at 20th position. Now they have got the 17th. I guess this is what we can call as an evolution, or maybe a jump in the leaderboard. So that's good enough, but definitely they have to come up with some more points. They have to go for those double-digit pointer in the game, and if that is going to be the case, that maybe will be able to help them a lot in terms of the standing. But for now, I guess we are just waiting on the final match for the day. That will absolutely come in pretty soon. But make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But for now, we are going to take a short break indeed to check out what happens in the 4th one. Well, guys, welcome back to the last match for the day. Day number 1 to be precise. 2 more days to go. Then we'll get to see who is going to be the champion and who is going to get the $300 cash reward in their favor. And this is the final week for this particular scrims. Definitely, we'll get to see a lot more IPs coming from Ruthless IP Sports. So make sure to follow the Instagram handle. That is going to be esports.ruthless. So go for it. Make sure to follow it. And eventually, our moderators are going to let you know about every other detail that is going to happen in your region. Apart from that, we are going to witness the final one. As I said, Babshadley is going to come in for us pretty soon. Alpha 7 Esports is actually going to be the team which is most consistent for the day, I believe. First two matches in their favor as a chicken dinner, and the last one, I guess the double-digit pointer were there in their favor, but they were still able to survive till the top 4 position. That shows they are approaching for the best at this point. But Rise Esports is completely changing the hype of the game because they were able to bag out a 29-pointer game in their favor. Looking forward to see what happens in this particular matchup as well. This is going to be the final one for the day, but definitely an interesting one.
Final one. The day has actually come quite early to an end. We saw a lot of action from the sides of Alpha 7. A consistent gameplay, I must say. Top 5, they ended top 5 in the third game as well, but that will be all from the actions that we saw from the sides of Alpha 7 and Rise. They are not going to play this one, the last one. We're going to see new teams, new, chicken dinner name that there is going to be in the map of Miramar. I'm excited for it, but we'll have to wait until the C-130 is prepared. The engines has been cleaned, the fuel is being put. It's going to take some time, and in that available time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to look at the matches that has been played today and the match that is to be coming. Match number 4, Miramar, is to be played, but what has been already done is match number 1, that is going to be ERANGEL, where Alpha 7 got a 17-pointer game, and match number 2 is also being backed by Alpha 7 with 6-pointer, but we have a new name in match number 3 with 19 points being backed. Has elimination and 10 points as the placement for in the name of Rice. And that's the new huge. That's the new big Rise Esports.
As per the name, they have risen indeed in the lobby. Moving up ahead, let's see what happens for now, because this is the third and final match for the day. Week number 3, match number 4. And this is the day number 1 of the Pubg Mobile Pro Scrims. Brazil is the region where the action is coming from. Miramar is the map which we are going to witness. In the previous Miramar, we saw a beautiful bump of zone coming in. Let's see what happens in this particular perspective as well. 30 more seconds to go, then we'll get to see the flight path. Apart from that, the first circle is actually going to create a lot of ruckus as well. Looking forward to see what happens in that particular perspective as well. Number of teams are going to be there. I believe 16 teams to be precise are going to be there. There are total 20 teams, I believe, in the whole situation of the Brazilian scrims, and they are divided in a group of 5, where every group is going to have, I guess, at least 4 teams. So that is the kind of division that we are witnessing, and there is a round robin method being used. So in every group, I guess 4 matches are going to be there per day. So that's the statistics. In just few minutes, in just few seconds to be precise, we'll get to see where the flight path is going to come from, and in few minutes we'll get to know where the first fight is going to happen.
With that being said, C-130 takes its trajectory in this final map of the day, Miramar, and that is going to be from the top of Puerto Paraíso, going through the Los Leones. Chomacera is also going to get some glance of the flight, and it ends all the way towards the western sides of Chomacera. Between Mont Nuevo and Valdemar is going to be glidable for all the players. It's going to be easy to glide all the way till power grid, but post which they will have to use few vehicles. Remember, this is going to be an 8x8 map with 80% of this entire map being a landmass, and vehicles being quite less, with a lot of ridges, and the vehicle health being low. It's definitely a challenge for the teams who want to go all the way up north. But with that being said, we are able to see GZM already taken an exit and already on their foot to be looting. This time they're not going to glide much as compared to the ERANGEL match that they had, where they had to lose one player against Alpha 7. And then we are able to see some traffic or some commotion happening in the regions of Los Leones. We are able to see 3 teams, Rice taking a huge split. I really want to see what the strategy is going to look like, but with that we have the zone all the way in the southwestern sides.
It's an interesting zone indeed coming up. Monte is the center for the circle right now. So in that particular region, usually we see a lot of fights coming up, but right now I guess there is no team to clash Sci-Fi Esports, so that's good enough. At Alpha 7 Esports, let's see where they are jumping. For now, seems like that they're actually going to go for the areas like El Pozo if they get the vehicle, but there is a clash. There is a lot of teams which are jumping in the close by facilities, but Loops are popping it off, and they have started getting those finishers that we were actually talking about, and it's just, I believe, 1 minute where the match has started, and right now they're already popping it out on Zebra Master. They're trying to put some down from Zebra Masters. Rafa is already knocked out. The backup should be coming in from place like within. He has got the S686, not a right gun to actually play with in the mid range or the long range, but definitely that's what he has got in the hands. Push is coming in. Cardozen knew that there is a rampage coming in front of him. That is why the revival is also pretty much important. And there should be a backup. Pretty soon the backup should arrive. But within. He's waiting. Thompson is in the hand along with an AKM. Definitely Loops Esports is the one which is looking quite confident.
Loops Esports has the ammunition that they require in this, in this battle. I guess they were the ones who landed here first. They got the right amount of guns and the bullets. And with that being said, Loops Chief gets the first pick in this game. The knock that there is, Rafa is on his knees. We'll have to see if Chief is able to confirm it. Ayala trying to check on the other angles. Cardozian is going to help him. It's a 1v2 for Zebra Masters within. Will he be able to do something? No, not really. With that, Cardozian actually becomes the first person to pick a player off this particular map. Rafa probably might be able to get a revival. No, Chief doesn't allow it. He's like, I knocked you. I guess I'm gonna confirm you. He does just that. But it's just an Uzi he has. He will have to battle this in a closer range. But Nizada and his counterpart right now are a bit more further away as to what Uzi can deal a damage against.
Looking forward to see what kind of implications these guys are actually going to come up with. Micro Uzi, not a right gun to actually come up with the mid-range fights in their favor, but then the recoil control, the kind of imprecision that these guys have got, can definitely put them on the upper hand. But look at that. Nilzada now knows that there is an enemy coming up front, and there is a shot on the other guy. Micro Uzi is the gun. He's trying to run for his life. Oh, that was a fatal headshot indeed coming up, and just like that, it's Team Loops Esports on the back foot once again. Nilzada comes up with a beautiful knockout, but how far can he run? That's the big question. Look at that. Gets spotted. Again, those micro Uzi shots are coming in. I highly doubt at this point that Team Zebra Master is going to survive. Yes, the knockout was there, but how far will they be able to back out those energies and those points in their favor? The shots are coming in. That's Beryl. Without any attachments, I really believe that. And yeah, there is no attachments coming up. Again, the other gun is going to be Thompson. Not the right gun that you want to actually go with in the close quarter, but another 1v1 came in. Was able to take one down. But finally, it's Mythic who is going to finish the job. Oh, I guess that was Chief. Mythic was the one who was able to get the previous knockout. But that 4 amazing finishes for Loops Esports, and the first team to go out is going to be Zebra Masters.
Zebra Masters back-to-back bad games for them. I guess they will want to bounce back for this week from day number 2. I'm definitely expecting a lot of action from their side. Week number 1 was really good for them. But we are going to look at Flamingo hovering over here. Just like their names, they were flying around. They have spotted few preys that they can hunt down on. Ayala quite an open, but does Fox have the gun and the scope that is required? But Toiko has been alerted with Loops being in this area, or probably just few lads hanging around in this area. Good angles has been checked. If the bullets are being shot at the right time, I am sure it's going to be fatal for Loops. And there you go, Toiko gets Ayala picked off.
Well, the knockouts are getting followed up, so I guess Loops Esports have to regroup once again. Decide that from which angle they are actually going to take up the revenge, because Ayla, a very crucial player for the team, is actually knocked out right now. Go for the 500 likes, guys. I guess we have reached the 300 like marker. Go for the 500 likes as well, so that we can witness what kind of action is there right now. Flamingo Esports is also trying to regroup. We've got Gigante, which is trying to actually eliminate what he started. Ayla is actually going to be in the crosshairs with those mini 14. That can be possible, but then only if the shots are going to be precise, or only if the scoops are going to be there for this guy particularly. Mythic is trying to scout him with his AKM. I highly doubt that those AKM shots are going to get connected like in a spree. 1 or 2 single tap shots can connect, but I really doubt that it can happen like with the way the other guy that's there on the back end wants to do. Gigante is coming up with a beautiful flank indeed. The shots are coming in. The back tire gets busted out. This is what I was trying to just fathom, that it won't happen and stuff like that, but no, it did happen. Shots are coming in once again, trying to take the revenge of that vehicle burst out, but Ayla gets confirmed. That's it. Gigante was able to finish off, but the Toiko actually started. That's amazing. Looking forward to see what Gigante will be able to bring to the table right now, because now he has to actually get those finishes. He has got that kind of element of surprise coming up. So players like Cardozen can actually be taken down. Oh, another beautiful knockout. That's Stoico once again bagging out a beautiful knockout. Headshots and headshots, man.
Look at the distance. Look at the distance. I'm sure it's almost about 400 meters, at least to what I would want to believe. I'm really going to be curious with the match statistics that is going to come in, but Loops definitely not looking good. Flamingo has definitely, checked everything before they shot those bullets. Ayala got picked up first, followed by Karzin, but GC God didn't really expect that to happen. Toyko didn't either expect that to happen. Two players of Flamingo are already down, and the other two are really, really far away. Chief gets some time to revive his counterpart and will also get some time to patch himself up, but with just 4 bandages that he has, will he be able to be fit enough to take this battle? Fox comes up with few smokes, but he's still very far behind. Will he be able to revive his teammates? This probably might just be an overcommitment that came from Flamingo's side, or probably something that they didn't really expect Loops to be doing. They thought that they had dished out the right amount of damage for them to aggress the way they did, but Loops proved them wrong. Mythic is going to wait. He's not really having the health. He will have to choose the bullets that he's firing. But if he does it right, Flamingo might just get eliminated.
Man, oh man, that could be the case indeed, as you said. It could be possible that Flamingo Esports is going to get eliminated, but for now, Loops Esports having those amazing 4 finishers, they are looking confident. Mythic is trying to push forward. Zone damage is actually going to amplify quite a bit, but the smoke is also getting over. The sprays are going to be there, but Loops Esports, can they bag out the knockout? No, that's not possible. The trade is going to be there. Mythic also gets compromised, and just like that, Loops Esports is now finished off. It's Flamingo who is going to get those amazing 4 finishes. Loops, after having the 4 eliminations, are actually going to taste the same thing that they were able to dish out on Zebra Masters. With that, Flamingo Esports 4 amazing finishes. 4 people are surviving. Are they going to loot everything that is there in the crates of Team Loops Esports, I believe? And with that, they're actually going to rotate to another vicinity. Second zone is going to get compromised in just 50 seconds. Not a lot of time is left. And in this kind of time period, these guys have to pull up their socks, have to gain those points. Otherwise, they're not going to survive the way it is meant to be. Souls, or should I say Honor Souls players are surviving, and yes, the shots are coming in. No doubt on that, the connections are being made. Alpha 7 is also pretty much close to a fight. Alpha 7 and Storm Gaming could be in the fight, but there is a knockout. Indeed it is. INCO Gaming gets connected. Oh, the shutdown is also there. INCO Gaming, this is not a match they want to lose.
INCO Gaming not really looking good right now. They have lost 2 players. They're just left with Becker and Squash. Let's see what they have got under the hood, and we will definitely want to see this particular vehicle getting carried till the end. Will Becker be able to do that is a big question, because this vehicle is quite slow. Looks like he's putting himself in a lot of danger, and yes, that's going to be the case. Rafina doesn't allow the rotation to be completed, and the pick actually comes from the sides of Lorazin of Sci-Fi. Well, Knock coming from Honored Souls and Pick coming from Sci-Fi. INCO didn't really choose a good place for themselves to, settle down for some time. Squash becomes the final person surviving, and that is not really looking good for that particular lineup for this particular game, for this particular match. But that being said, Honored Souls, they're going to be happy. Nino gets 2 finishes for himself and for the team as well, but Honored Souls will have to buckle up and give the best kind of performance that they have actually showcased us in the previous weeks. I'm definitely expecting a good game from their end. They look like they have got the momentum by far. Let's see what the rotations are going to be like, but we have another fight coming, and that's going to be against Black Dragons going against Team Predators.
The clash is there, definitely trying to deal with it. Oh, some good shots. Oh, that's player 3 who was able to find one from Team Black Dragons, and already the clash is reverting in the favor of Team Predators. They've got their first ever frag in this particular fight. Moving upward, there is actually going to be a situation of slams coming in, situations of takedowns being there. This is the area of Minaj Generalist. Definitely an area where you want to get those edges in your favor. It's a beautiful area where Team Black Dragons is holding up right now, but they are pretty much stuck in a similar compound. So I don't think so that the advantage of that compound is going to be that much favorable. Some good mollies and some good nades are going to get followed up. And for player 5, I don't think so there is anything left in terms of those throwables except those smokes, which can create the art of deceptions. But I guess preserving those smokes are going to be a little bit more important. Killazada on the other corner gets connected with the molly, and that is why he's going to heal himself first of all with the medkit. Rike on the other corner also comes up with a nade. That nade could impact somebody if they would have been in the close quarter circles, but that's not the possibility that is there. SCCP, the Corinthians are rotating pretty much from El Pozo region, from the northern one, I believe. It's going to be a tough fight for them. That's exactly what it is. Alpha 7 Esports on the other corner. Look at their rotation coming in. They're trying to rotate from the northern western region. That could be fruitful, but there is a nade. Extreme Predator, which is going to get popped up with a beautiful nade. And now the pressure is on Team Predators right now. Yes, they were able to get the initial opening, but what will happen if they are actually going to get shot down at the same exact moment? Some more nades are getting cooked up. They're waiting for the right opportunity. Another nade goes in through the window. The damage could be there, but no, that's not the probability. Some smokes are there. Team Predators looking quite confident for now, but Team Black Dragons, the way they are retaliating is also pretty much huge. The Bull comes up with a nade that could impact one or two players. Another brief fire is going to be there, but that's it. Another beautiful knockout. It's the Bull who's going to put one down. Some more nades are actually going to get cooked up. He's going to finish off another guy. Player 4 also gets compromised at the same exact moment. But 3 finishes for Team Predators. Now they're looking confident. The last one is actually going to push forward soon. He's actually going to fall down. Maybe survive a bit. Oh, the follow-up knockout could be coming in. Look at the damage. He's trying to trace him down. He's trying to run apart from him. Oh, that's it. The Bull gets compromised. He's actually going to get shut down. There is no backup which is going to be there. The reason is pretty much similar, that there are multiple teams which are going to compromise over here. And it's done for Black Dragons as well by Knife and Skull. A beautiful shot indeed. And from the other corner, it is Team Rise Esports. Just like the previous one, they are again starting off quite well.
Oh no, the fight is not yet done because we have Knife and Skull now going against Rise Esports. There were 4 squads lurking around this particular area. We have 2 already, out of this equation, but now it's going to be against Rise and Knife and Skull. Are they going to commit to this fight? Because it looks like they might as well want to, but it's on the corner of the zone. They might want to do it if they seem getting a positive result out of the situation. But for now, I feel Rise wants to go away from this region. They have done what they wanted to do, and now they're looking at a better zone position, because right now they would want to be in a position where the zone is favoring them as much as possible. But on the other sides of the map, you're able to see Sci-Fi looking really good, really happy with the compound that they have. Near to them, they have Hornet Souls rotating and trying to find a compound. And on the southern side as well, we have another entire lineup probably waiting for some action. But that being said, Hornet Souls, who were trying to rotate near to Brazilian killers now, first against some other squad, now against some other one. Hornet Souls really need some compounds to rest for a while.
They do, but are they going to get it? That's a big question for now.
Yeah.
Brazilian killers, well, they are already trying to pop out some good shots onto them. Flamingo on the other corner with the nitro in the cars, trying to rotate, trying to figure out an angle. And they might actually get the edge of the particular play zone, and that's exactly what they're going to get. But from the back end, there are some more teams which are trying to rotate. That's going to be Storm Gaming. I really doubt it that they are actually going to survive. INCO's Squash is also there on the back end. Some more shots coming in from the front corner. That is another beautiful team which is trying to pin down the team which we call as Flamingo Esports. Flamingo Esports, apart from that, Alpha 7 Esports have also got the assist of the zone. They're trying to slam in onto the Valadalmal region. If that's possible, then that would be absolutely amazing. ZZM Esports on the other corner is also having the interesting zone in the favor. Today, I'm happy to see the kind of shift that these zones are bringing, because in the previous few fights, we were unable to see those things. But this week, it is absolutely looking strong with Sci-Fi Esports. Just close to them, there is a rotation coming from Team Storm. Look at the kind of ruckus.
Yeah. There's Storm, there is Sci-Fi.
This is Fast and Furious, I believe. Exactly. Storm is running. What happens from the back end is Sci-Fi Esports trying to slam onto them. And from the back end, it is Flamingo Esports also trying to rotate with those beautiful vehicles. Oh, the pickup truck. I really doubt that this is going to survive. Toyko. The guy was completely turned down. From the back end, what? Despite of having the height advantage, he was unable to survive at this point. And that's done. GC God, last man standing, stuck in the open region. Seems like that the survival is actually going to be out of equation for this guy. HCCP's Manga Rosa on the other corner finds one from Team Sci-Fi Esports, Sci-Fi Gaming, I believe. But yeah, Flamingo Esports, that could be the team which is going to go out at hashtag 11, hashtag 12 to be precise. INCO's Squash, okay, that is the guy who's going to get eliminated. He was pretty much outside the circle. Now he's finished off. The guy from Flamingo Esports, which was actually knocked out on that particular height advantage on the ridge, he is definitely not going to survive. The zone damage is actually going to be there pretty much soon because they're stuck outside the zone. I guess 200 and plus meters are actually the distance that is there. God on the other corner, the GC God guy is there with the AUG A3. Some good tap shots coming from team SCCP's Tito, but he should know that he's in the cover. Oh no, the last shot actually connected.
What?
Dude.
Raider, note down the name. It's Tito. We'll want to see him on the longest distance finish that there was. But you know what, Raider, I would want to add.
Only if the finish comes in, then only that is going to be possible. Yeah, the knockout is there. But the revival is also going to be there, na? So that is the tricky thing.
Right. No, but it looks like he's not able to revive. Come on, don't revive. We want to see that register. Okay, no, he has to. I mean,
you're too selfish, bro.
Come on. Yeah, exactly. But we have SCCP already marching in against Brazilian killers. They are doing the job that has been started from them from their side. SCCP not really looking good, but on the other side they're retaliating as much as they can. A drop shot comes in, but not much that he was able to do. He got one down, but he was not able to take another one. And with that, Mangarosa saving Corinthians for now from the attack that there was from Brazilian killers. Well, they marched in, but there's a great reciprocation of this entire process. And right now, Brazilian killers, this particular person, Kazik, is holding a good position. If he's going to jump right above this compound, I'm sure he's going to get all the players knocked off. But he's the last person surviving, and I'm sure he will want to survive more than looking at those few finishes that he can pocket. But from the side that he's rotating, it's not really looking good. It's not really looking good because he's going right in the mouths of Knife and Skull.
The trap has been set. Let's see what happens. Storms Pereira, that's the last one standing, trying his level best to survive. The nades are coming in. He's also trying to create as many as takedowns as possible at the same moment. But Flamingo on the other corner is pretty much inside the circle. And now the trouble will start for the guy known as Storms Pereira because he's stuck outside the circle. He won't be able to find an angle. If he pushes forward, goes for the vehicle, he's going to get spotted. If
he doesn't have healing.
Yeah, indeed. Nothing is there in his hand. I really doubt that the survivor is going to come in, but there we go with a nade. Tito. You should remember the name. Not for the knockouts, but for the, I guess, takedowns coming from the nades. But apart from that, Alpha 7 Esports, Valadalmar is the region where they're actually going to cooperate. If we talk about GZM Esports, they definitely have the advantage of the similar region. But now I would like to see what kind of credibility these Brazilian teams have when it comes to a compounded based fight. Because this is a fight where total compound is going to get concentrated. In the last circle, I might see a circle getting pretty much in an open area, but apart from that, seems like that the major chunk of the circle is definitely going to be there in the circle for right now, I guess, for the current fights. FI Esports versus EYC Gaming, that could be the fight we are waiting for. The mollies and nades are getting cooked up. Trying his level best to prep up for that nade. It cancels at the last moment.
Well, the gap to throw that nade was really, really small, and anything has to the nade bouncing back, it could have been fatal for the team. But Alpha 7 towards the east side of the regions, good right now, a good split. Rice is also having a great split, but not really working out for them for now. GZM and center of both these squads. Nunes is actually playing a very crucial role for Rice right now. Knife and Skull finds themselves inside the zone. Nothing much of a trouble for them for now. The knock that they got against Rice, GZM, the revival is on process. But look at Mufasa. He's using the water bodies in a map of Miramar. And that's huge. But GC God from the other side is punishing Rice. And Knife and Skull, who just made an entry inside the zone, is punishing Corinthians. SCCP not really looking good for now, but neither is Sci-Fi. The last person surviving, Lenin, is going against EYC, a 1v1 action. I guess there is a DBS. If that connects, that will be the game for Sci-Fi, and that is the case. Sci-Fi gets eliminated at 9th position, and it is all down to just 22 players and 8 teams surviving for now.
I'm actually surprised to see with the way Alpha 7 Esports is playing right now. They are being very passive. Despite of being in a compounded region, despite of having a lot of insight of this particular Valadalmar region, they're not even tagging a single guy. I've not seen them in the kill feed for a longer period of time, but I might see pretty soon. But the thing is, Rise Esports on the other corner, they're pretty much closing the gap that was there between Rise Esports and Alpha 7 Esports because they've got the 42 pointers. Oh, Mafiso! With a car 98 shot indeed comes up with a knockout, but will he be able to finish him off?
A bit early.
But the finish is not going to be there. Yeah, knockouts will be there. But what about the finishes? That is the thing which is going to create the impact, not the knockouts.
True. Agreed. Agreed. But we are going to see a lot of action coming from Alpha 7 side. I'm going to expect that. But with that being said, Flamingo GC got picked up in all of this discussion that we had, and that will be the end for Flamingo as well. Knife and Skull definitely did the job of eliminating EYC. Now they look really good. They have 4 finishes, 4 players alive. This is all down to just 6 teams and 20 players. Alpha 7 probably will have to get inside the zone, but there are a lot of players there, and I'm sure going to expect and witness a lot of chaos, Raider.
It is definitely going to be the case, but right now, if I talk about the chaos, that is, they're from SCCP's corner, the Corinthians. They are looking very good at this point. They've got the bridge advantage, they've got the height advantage that was required to be precise in the previous era. But now the Slamins could be there. Rise Esports, I'm actually worried about them. I don't know how they're actually going to find that angle to be in the zone, because Alpha 7 Esports is there. GZM is actually going to have that advantage. Look at that. There is a snake path of that smoke that has been created so that they can just be in the zone. That's the kind of the beauty of these tier 1 teams coming from their separate regions. And they definitely have got the skills right now, no doubt in that. But Rise Mufasa, can he find that angle from which he can come up with some good shots? That's a big question. SCCP's Tito again comes up with a nade. His nades, his tap shots are something absolutely amazing. But look at that. Tito was able to come up with a nade, but Pubg is the guy from GZM Esports from a completely different team who's going to finish off the guy he was able to knock out. Stealing the finishes is not a good thing, I believe.
Well, who is getting punished is Honored Souls. Honored Souls is going a 2v4 against Knife and Skull, but Senna on the other side gets Mufasa picked up, and Tito again on the finish feeds, punishing Knife and Skull, helping Honored Souls to manage the situation. It's a 1v1. Tuzin got 1 picked up, is 1 more battle for him. It's not something Knife and Skull will be able to capitalize, and with that, Tuzin gets 2 beautiful finishes for himself, 6 for the lineup. Alpha 7, 4 finishes for now. They were having just 1. They just added 3 to the equation, going against Corinthians. I'm not able to see a lot of nades coming in action from the sides of Alpha 7. VIVO top is definitely looking for a better angle, but if he's going to commit more towards his left, probably he might just get punished. But he spots one head. He tries to connect, to do so, but he knows where the players are. But these players are actually busy hunting other players in the name of GZM. Honored Souls trying to get inside the zone. This is not really looking good for the players who are in the southern side right now, in the downside right now, because Alpha 7 and Corinthians unintentionally are going to punish both of them together as a team.
Oh, that's a nade. Revo on top, definitely coming up with a beautiful nade indeed. And there is another beautiful set of spray coming up. I believe that's GZM Esports who's trying to impact this particular fight. But is it possible for them? That's a big question coming in. And knockouts are getting finished off by some of the guys. Like, definitely the impact is there. At Alpha 7 Esports, they have to secure this chicken dinner, this 1 chicken dinner to be precise, if they want to create that buffer once again. And they were able to start off in the initial phase. Carrillo, the guy who was MVP, who is the guy who was able to dish out the initial frags, is now pretty much knocked out. Sera could come up with a revival, but before that, Hugo is actually going to connect him. And if that's going to be the case, it won't be easy for these guys to survive it. But look at that. Sena finds 1. It's going to be another beautiful knockout coming in. Honored Souls gets compromised. That's done. And it is a beautiful knockout to be precise. Let's see how far they will be able to go. The mollies are there. Sena with the S12K can be impactful quite a bit. GZM's Hugo also gets connected at the same moment. Another set of spray, and that's it. Manga Rosa finds 1. That's going to be Revo top. He has been taken down. Bagging out the chicken dinner is not going to be that easy right now by Alpha 7 Esports. But look at that beautiful shot coming from Sena. The S12K indeed got connected. Now just 2 teams are surviving. It's a battle between the giants. Revo top has been knocked out. His revival is pretty much going to be out of equation, it seems like that. And yes, he is outside the critical phase zone. He's trying his best to survive. The shots are going to be there. SCCP's Midstorm gets connected quite a bit. But now the K98 comes in. 1 good shot. 1 good player can be shut down. Manga Rosa on the other corner comes up with a nade. Evo, sorry, I guess that was Sena, if I'm not wrong, who has been taken. The nade. The answer from Carrillo is fatal. And that's it. I guess Manga Rosa is down. Now it's all about Midstorm. Coming up with a 1v3 against Alpha 7. It's in the name. They are the alphas. I really doubt that these beta is actually gonna come up with some good shots. Midstorm is there. Oh, looking forward to see what happens. He's pretty much on the edge of the circle. I
No,
really doubt
what
that his survival is going to be there. Yeah.
what you didn't actually notice is something even I didn't notice in the initial stage. Nobody was actually inside the zone until Myth did that rotation that was
Yeah,
required for
exactly.
him to
That was
get
the case.
inside the zone. Yes, now it's going to be a 1v1
Mm.
and it's done. Not
Oh,
from the
on
sides
the
of
back end.
Carrillo, but yeah, from the backside. I mean, you know what the discussion that Alpha 7 right now is going to have is Raider.
Mm-hmm.
You wait, I will get the finish. That's a confidence that I believe Alpha 7 is having right now. They are actually, I mean, the way that they are playing these games, they don't look like, they have to eliminate the player. They are more in the mood of who is going to eliminate the player.
That
I
is the
hope you're
case.
able to
Yeah.
understand on what I'm trying to tell.
I know. I'm totally understanding the point that you are trying to dish out. But for now, let's talk about the match. Let's talk about the team which was able to secure the particular matchup. It is going to be Alpha 7, the 19 pointer of a game in their favor. Definitely going to have the jump of 69 points, if I'm not wrong. That is exactly what they are actually going to have. Don't laugh, Eco Boy. But anyway, on that other note, if I talk about Trevor Top, he has got 2 eliminations, 775. 755 is going to be the number of damage he's going to dish out. Carrillo comes up with 1 finish. 703 is going to be the number of damage he was able to dish out. Mafloso on the other corner comes up with 2 eliminations and 303 over damage. SCCP's Manga Rosa, or should I say Corinthians, Manga Rosa is going to be the guy with the MVP plaque in his favor with 5 eliminations, 963 is the damage. Dribbles used was 6, assists is 1.
You know what, Raider? I just understood on what SCCP stands for. It is SC Corinthians, and then I guess it is something from the P. I didn't really get to read it properly, but the logo has the entire name. So I guess we can call them SCCP from now. And with that being said, SCCP gets that winner. I mean, don't get that winner chicken dinner, but the aggression that they had puts them on #1 with 19 points, but not so far behind, or probably just the equal number of points that they are able to get for themselves. Alpha 7 with 19 as well. Hornet Souls with 10, an amazing game for them. Flamingo also did an amazing job of survival and getting a lot of finishes on the pockets. 8 points for them. Knife and Skull with 7, ZZM with 6, Loops Esports with 4, Sci-Fi with 4, and Rise somewhere in between with just 4 points, which means yet again the gap has been created.
Indeed, the gap is there, no doubt on that. And with that, the buffer is actually going to increase quite a bit. Corinthians, the way they were able to dish out those amazing 13 finishes, is definitely going to put them at the safe location in this particular game. I would love to see that where the jump is there in the match and the overall ranking, I believe. But after the match ranking is over, we'll get to see more and more details like match stats is going to come in. But yes, INCO Gaming and those teams like Zebra Master were unable to secure anything. Match summary: HCCB's Manga Rosa is going to be the guy which is going to have the advantage of 4 positions, like highest eliminations, highest damage, highest healing done, and with that highest knockouts as well. But the highest assist was coming from the favor of Carrillo, and that is just 2 to be precise. So in this match, not a lot of assists were there.
Well, against 7 assists that came in the previous game, this is actually quite less. But this is going to be the match summary of this match number 4 in week number 3, day number 1, Miramar. 289 meters, but I'm sure the knock was quite more than 400 meters. I'm sure Tito did that. But we'll talk about that a bit more later. Match statistics for now is going to be 60 total eliminations, 32 total healings. That's a lot of healings that's been done. 61 total damage, total knocks, 5 headshots, 192 throwables used, 1 airdrop looted, in total of 5 or 6 that comes in, and 17 total rescues. So there were a lot of knocks that is being highlighted, but at the same time there were also a lot of revivals that happened.
Indeed, the revival was there, and that is the reason why players were rising back in the game. But coming back, MVP rankings is here in front of us. It is actually going to be the guy known as Carrillo who is going to be on top with 8 amazing eliminations. 2782 is the right amount of damage from his corner. Alpha 7's Revo Top is going to be in the second position with 6 eliminations. 9037 is going to be the damage. Alpha 7's Mafizo is actually the guy who is actually going to be on the third position. Seems like that it is already the top 3 positions in the favor of Alpha 7 Esports. Exactly what they're trying to come up with the leaderboard in their favor as well. 12 eliminations. I guess Mafloso is going to be the guy with the highest amount of elimination. Seems like that he's going to be the overall fragger in the particular perspective of day number 1. But 12 eliminations, 1848 is the damage that he was able to dish out.
Yes, that's going to be the case. But going forward, the overall top fraggers, hashtag 1 to 5, we're going to have Mafi, Mav, Maflozo. Is that the name? Maflozo. Yes.
So, yeah.
It's going to be 12 finishes for him with 1848 damage. Senna with 9. Carrillo with 8. 7 with 8. And Soul Ninho is going to be with 8 as well. So we're going to have Alpha 7 not only dominating in the terms of leaderboard of overall standings, but also dominating in the overall fraggers. The smile that Mafloso has, I'm sure he's having the same smile right now at his place. He's happy. He's definitely happy with the kind of gameplay that Alpha 7 has had. And this particular individual player with 12 finishes, he's looking forward for a lot of prize that he might just be winning. With that overall standing, ladies and gentlemen, after day number 1 of week number 3, we have Alpha 7 Esports with 4 matches being played, out of which 3 chicken dinners are being named by them, with 34 placement points and 35 elimination points, 69 total points that they have. And I guess,
yeah,
I mean, well, okay, let's actually go ahead. Let's talk about Rise Esports. For you know what, you take it over, Raider. I guess I'll not be able to hold my laugh.
4 matches, 1 chicken dinner for Rise Esports. That was a huge 129 pointer of a game, to be precise. 44 points from the corner. There is a buffer of, I believe, 25 points between Alpha 7 and Rise Esports. So that's a huge buffer indeed. Corinthians, 25 points exactly. That's what they have actually able to bag out in the particular 3 matches that they played. That's a good average, I believe. Influence Gaming on the other corner, 23 points. Knife and Skull, 19. Down Souls, 19. Storm Gaming, 18 points. Flamingo Esports with 18. Coming back to the second page, we will get to see hashtag 6, I guess hashtag 9 to 16. Mandrakes Esports, 3 matches, 17 points. Loops Esports, 4 matches, 17 points. Black Dragons, 16 points. INCO Gaming, 13 points. EYC Gaming, 4 matches, 11. GZM Esports, 10 points. Brazilian Girls with 9. Sci-Fi Esports with 8. Well, if we talk about the last page, I would love to see where Zebra Master is standing. Are they on the bottom or on the 17th or 18th position? That's a big question at this point. But yes, Zebra Master is one of those teams which have played, I guess, 4 matches. And in those 4 matches, having this kind of point, it's a little bit shaky for me, to be honest. Let's talk about this last page as well.
Well, in the last page is where actually the entire trouble begins. And that trouble actually is being led by Smoke Esports with 8 points. Team Predators with 7, XTEAM with 5, and Zebra Masters, where after playing 3 total matches, they've been able to bag only 4 points. That is an alarming situation, not for just Zebra Masters, but for all the teams who are anywhere between hashtag 13 to 20, because bouncing from here, they will have to play the game of their life, and if they actually manage to do that, $300 prize pool is waiting for them. But this is going to be all for from the overall standings of this particular day of week number 3. It's going to be day number 1, and 4 matches has been played. There are teams who have had just 3 being played. There are teams that has had 4 in total being played. It will be adjusted in the coming days, as Raider suggested. It was just 4 matches in total that was there from today, but we're going to have a few more matches added for tomorrow and few more for day after, ensuring that all the teams get to play the right number of matches and the right number of maps as well. So that being said, not to lose much hope from the sides of teams who have played only 3 matches, but Alpha 7 has nailed the day with 4 matches being played, 3 chicken dinners.
Hands-on man indeed. Alpha 7 Esports did the job, no doubt on that. Rise Esports also showed their strength after having that 29-pointer game. That's absolutely huge. Let's see who is going to break that record, but for that, we have to wait till tomorrow. Until then, guys, peace out. Thank you for joining us. Love you all. We'll be seeing you tomorrow with another set of 5 amazing matches from this Brazilian action. Till then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye, guys. Peace out. Good night.